everybody.
This conference will now be recorded.
Great. Yeah, hello everybody. This is Mukund Toro joining in from I'm sorry, not Bangalore today. I'm in a different place. Just a moment. Yeah. Yeah, I've changed to sharing the whiteboard. So my name is Mukund. Yeah. Mukund Toro. Toro is my surname. My family name. Mukund is my first name, which is incidentally means somebody who is very impulsive and somebody who is very what do you say? Somebody who is very mercurial, short-tempered. But I'm absolutely opposite of that. You can rarely see me getting angry or yelling at somebody. Anyway, that's my name, Mukund Toro, and I live in Bangalore. And I take the call from Bangalore usually. Most of these calls will be from Bangalore. Today I'm in a different place, which is on the west coast of India. That is called Mangalore. So just one letter change, yeah, from Bangalore to Mangalore. So I'm in Mangalore today. It's a coastal town. Pretty humid here right now because it's a coastal town. But otherwise it's pleasant here. Little cool still. Yeah. I have been doing these classes. I've been conducting or giving these classes for quite some time now. I've been working with PreparationInfo at least for 3 years, around 3 years, maybe a little less. But yeah, we are going to make it 3 years very soon. And apart from that, even since about 12 years, this has been my full-time job. Yeah, teaching project management. So PMP courses, just project management courses, customized courses, Microsoft project, consulting, and whatnot. So I dabble into many things. I've dabbled into many things and continue to do that. I am an engineer by profession, by training. Yeah, I have done my bachelor's in engineering a long time back, and then I worked for about maybe 25 to 30 years. I was in a usual job, a monthly paying job rather. Yeah. So I worked for about 25, 30 years, mostly in my engineering is in electronics and telecom. Yeah. So my work was mainly on telecommunication, mainly on software. That was about 25, 30 years I worked in that. And then an opportunity came by to get into training, and I said, why not? I was anyway doing that in my previous employments. I was enthusiastic about training, giving training. So cut the story short, I got into training. I was also interested in project management. I did my PMP, and I got in. Since then, I have been training all the while for almost like 12 to 14 years now. I am 61-year-old. I don't have much hair left on my head, so that would perhaps you would have guessed that I'm around the same. I'm around 61 years. So I'm 61 years. My family lives in Bangalore. I'm not there right today. Once again, I have my wife, my mother-in-law, my my daughters. Both of them are doctors. One of them is right here in Mangalore. That is where she's studying, and that's why I'm here. I'm here for helping her out. So that's about me. Yeah, I have traveled quite a bit. I have traveled quite a lot to US. I have traveled to Europe, Australia, the Middle East, Southeast, not Middle East really, more of Southeast Asia. Yeah. So that's about me. I hope you are convinced that I'm capable of delivering this training. Yeah. Maybe what we can do quickly, Ashish. Should we go around and do a round of introductions and then start the course, or do you want me to start the course right away? What's your suggestion, Ashish? Are you there on the call still? Ashish is my colleague. No, he's not. He's probably okay. Okay, thank you, Ashish. Yeah, we'll go around the room and we will just introduce ourselves. In short, maybe in 3 to 5 sentences. Yeah. 1 second, I'll give you the sequence as well, probably in the alphabetical order. Yeah. So we start with A, that is Afazad Kalisa. Afazad, could you please introduce yourself, please? Yourselves,
Okay,
please.
good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
I'm Alfonso Culia. I'm from Angola, in Africa. I work in an oil and gas company. My position is Deputy Project Manager. I'm working in a Total Energy project, Dalia Schools. Dalia Production Schools. This is the product that we are handling now.
Okay, I'm sorry, Afazad, I'm not able to hear you very clear. Whatever I heard, I wrote it on the board, but the rest I did not.
I said I work as a deputy project manager in Sonamet. Sorry, my company is Painal in Angola.
Okay, that's the name of your company. Okay. Thank you, Afazad. Good to know you.
Thank you.
Anything else you would like to say?
No, that's fine. That's okay.
Thank you, Afazad. Good to see you. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Afonso, could you please? Afonso Daniel.
Afonso Daniel Culia.
Culia. Okay.
Yes.
Hello. I think the one who has just spoken is Alfonso. Right now, it's Afazad speaking. Can you hear me?
Who's this, please?
Afazad speaking. The one who has spoken before me is Alfonso.
Oh, is it? Okay. Sorry. So that was Alfonso, Angola Oil and Gas Deputy PM and all that. Okay.
Yes,
so now we are talking to Afazad. Okay.
Yeah, Afazad Kalisa from Rwanda in Africa. I work as a project manager for a company called RSwitch. It's a national switch for Rwanda that deals with the electronic payments and switching.
Okay, great. Good to know. Afzad from Rwanda. Okay, thank you, Afzad. I'm sorry for the mix-up. Etienne, I hope I get the pronunciation right. Etienne, could you please? Etienne Hair Bottle.
Yes, that's fine. So it's Etienne from South Africa, work in the construction industry, large commercial projects throughout East Africa, West Africa, and South Africa. So it's more the EMEA group, in the EMEA region.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you, Etienne. Jackson.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Jackson. Currently project manager in Kenya and a company by the name Tesla on the GSM industry.
I'm sorry, Jackson, you're working as a project manager in which place you said?
Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So what industry do you work in, Jackson?
GSM.
GSM.
Construction.
That is mobile
GSM
communication.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. You're still in GSM? I thought the world has moved to 4th generation now. 5th generation almost knocking at the door, and you're still on GSM. Anyway, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Jackson.
Thank you.
Kingsley, would you please do the honors?
Okay.
I can hear you, little feeble, although.
Please, can you hear me now?
Yeah, sure. Very clear. Very clear.
Okay. I'm Kingsley Kwabnayirenchi. Currently,
Sorry, Kingsley from which place? I'm sorry, interrupted. Go ahead, Kingsley. Kingsley, your mic is off, looks like. Okay, we'll come back to Kingsley because I can't hear him. His mic is muted. Yeah, I can hear you now.
yeah, currently I'm working with the Petroleum Commission of Ghana as an auditor. Before I work with World Vision International, also as a finance person and an auditor. Apart from my former work, I'm a leader of a church. I preside over a church with a congregation of about 700. And then I also run some businesses. We have a distribution business and then a haulage business. So I do quite a number of things.
Okay.
And I think I want to build expertise so that I can be able to manage them well as projects, you know. So I'm married with a daughter.
Oh, great. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know whether I did justice to the introduction or whether there's another thing I need to talk about.
That's great. Good to know you, Kingsley. I probably this is good, very good. Whatever you said. There's nothing else that I want to ask you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And maybe if somebody else wants to ask, he or she can go ahead. But I don't have anything to ask. Thank you. Thank you, Kingsley.
Welcome.
Yeah. We move on to Morori Faith. So yeah, please introduce yourself, Morori Faith. I hope I got the pronunciation right. Okay, Morori is unable to switch on the mic. Looks like. Okay. Okay, fine. We'll come back to Morori when her mic is turned on. Noel Nicholas.
Yes, hello.
Please introduce yourself. Yeah, Noel.
Hello.
Hello. I can hear you. Yes.
Yes, I'm Noel Nicholas. I'm from Tanzania. I'm working as a Scrum Master from a telecom company known as Vodacom. Yeah.
Scrum Master. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow. For Vodafone.
Yes.
Okay. Great. Good to know you, Noel. So it's a software development arm of Vodafone. Is that what you're working on, Noel?
Yeah. Yes. I'm working at. Yes.
Thank you, Noel. Omar.
Hello, everybody.
Sorry, guys.
Hello.
My name is Omar. I'm here in Miami, Florida, in the United States. I work in the construction industry. I'm currently an assistant project manager for a top 5 general contractor here in South Florida. I do the work that I do is basically anywhere from healthcare to private sector to no residential, just everything in the commercial private sector type of work.
Okay. Good to see you, Omar. It must be very early in the morning there in Florida.
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock.
Oh, 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. Yeah, then that is not very early, but it's still for a weekend. It's a little early.
It's okay for anything for education.
Okay, good to see you, Omar. Yeah, it's rare to see folks from Florida on this call. So very happy to see you.
Hi, I am back.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, this is Faith Morori. I am from. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm from Kenya, but I work with Diageo and as assistant project manager. I work with different projects in Kenya. So in Africa, currently I'm working in Uganda we're commissioning an RTD plant. We installed an RTD plant. So currently I'm working in Uganda, Accra. Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
So you said, but you are working in Uganda, but you come from some other place. I did not get the name of that country.
I come from Kenya. Oh, I come from Kenya. I come from Kenya, but I work with Diageo. The company is from UK.
From Kenya. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Morori.
All right.
So should I call you Faith or Morori? Which is the preferred name?
Morori.
Morori. Okay. Yeah, great. It sounds
I
very
prefer
Indian
Morori.
also.
Yeah.
We have a name in India called Murari.
Yeah,
So Murari and Morori sound very similar.
Yeah, I've been told by a few colleagues from India.
Murari. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we go to Patrick now. Patrick, could you please introduce yourself? Patrick.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Patrick Aturamo. I am a civil engineer with a bias in water and sanitation. I am an independent consultant. I do works in Africa, Southern Africa, Eastern Africa, and Western Africa to date. It's a pleasure being here.
Yeah, same here. Thank you, Patrick. So where exactly in Africa do you work? Or you said all over the place? Yeah.
I am Ugandan. I'm working in Uganda, in Ghana, and Zambia at the moment.
Okay, great. Wow, superb. So good to see you, Patrick, on this call. Thank you for joining. And that was Patrick. Shalom Amadeus.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Shalom. I'm from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. I'm a freelancer based on web development. I'm here to learn project management. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shalom. Shalom Amadeus. Amadeus is the first name of Mozart, I guess. Great musician.
Okay.
Mozart. His full name was Amadeus Mozart, I think. Yeah, good to know you, Shalom. Tamara.
Thank you.
Tucker Burns. Yeah, you are welcome, Shalom. Tamara.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
All right,
yeah,
so I live in Jamaica, in Kingston specifically. I work with a charitable organization. It's called Mustard Seed Communities that cares for abandoned physically, mentally, and children living with HIV/AIDS. I manage the volunteer program that they run, which has over 1,500 persons who visit us every year. And they come to do different projects and so on. And so I am the person who plans all the projects. Hence why I'm interested in this course.
Oh, thank you, Tamara.
You're welcome.
So I really, I appreciate your work. Very noble. It's very noble work that you're doing. So hats off.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Tamara. So it would be what time is it there now? About 8 a.m. there?
It's 8, yes.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for joining in so early on a weekend.
Sure, it's my pleasure.
Thank you, Tamara. So we move to Tony Hall.
Hello, I'm Tony Hall.
Hi.
I'm in Brisbane, Australia. I work as a project manager on insurance.
Oh, you're calling in from Australia, so it must be about midnight over there. No, not midnight yet.
11, yeah, it's 11:20, 11:16.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining in from Australia. I rarely have anyone from Australia on these calls. So good to see you. Good to see you, Tony. And finally, we have Yashobit Singh. Hi, Yashobit.
Hi, everyone. My name is Yashobit, and you can call me Yash. I'm from Indore City, India. Currently working as project manager and Microsoft consultant for Moria's IT Technologies. It's an IT company. And yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you.
Oh, good to know you, Yashobit. So are you in Indore or are you in some other place right now?
I'm in
While
Indore right
working for
now.
Microsoft. Oh, you work from Indore for Microsoft. That's great.
Yes, yes.
I've heard so many things about Indore. I have not been there yet.
Yeah.
Especially the place where you get to eat lots of spicy
It's a
stuff.
food city, at the same time the cleanest city.
Yeah, it is the cleanest city in India. Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has been the cleanest city in India for, I think, continuous 3 years or 4 years now.
It's been 6 years.
Oh, 6 years. Wow, I really envy you for both, for a clean city and a city where you can get to eat. You can get a lot to eat. Lots of variety.
Anytime you travel here, just ping me.
Sure.
I'll take you to places.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Khao Gali. Okay. Yeah, Khao Gali is the name of the place for the information of the rest of you, where your stalls open right till midnight and you can just have fun, eat a lot. Anyway, so good to see you all. It is a big batch. We are about 17 minus 2, about 15 on this call. I think we have gone around, introduced everybody. Let me just quickly check if I have missed out anybody. Fazad, Afonso, yeah, I think we have. Everybody has had a chance to talk. Yeah, sure. Okay. So welcome to this course once again on behalf of PreparationInfo. This is a PMP preparation course. It's going to last for 8 weeks. It's about 6:30 p.m. my time, by the way. Maybe about right now it must be about 6:50 my time, 18:50 or 6:50. Yeah. I have a very good internet connection over here, so I don't expect any issue today, any block today. Yeah. In case there is one, I'll keep my colleague informed. That is Ashish, and he'll let you know if for some reason I'm off the network or something. But otherwise, I don't expect that to happen at all today. I have a very powerful and a very good speed connection today. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Faith Mutavi. I missed you. I'm sorry about that. So Faith, would you like to say some, speak about yourself a little? I'm sorry, I missed you. Faith Mutavi, please introduce yourself. I saw that you introduced yourself on the chat, but if there is still something left out, please turn on your mic. No, Faith probably is unable to hear me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you, Faith. Thanks a lot. So she's unable to unmute now. Okay, so good to hear. Good to see your message on the chat. Okay. Anyway, so we are into PMP preparation course, which is going to last for 8 sessions. Yeah? At the same time, we meet every day, every Saturday we meet at the same time at 6:30 my time, and whatever time it corresponds to in your time zone. We will take 2 breaks as we go along. Yeah, we'll play it by the ear. I don't want to fix a time that we will take a break at 7 p.m. my time or something. Yeah, as and when we finish one thing logically, and if you have spent too much time without a break, we'll take a break. Yeah. So that's about me. That's about all of us. Let us get started. Yeah, I'll use this board quite a lot because the board on the conferencing tool does not work all that well. So I'll switch between Microsoft board and the presentation. Yeah. It may take sometimes a little while, so please bear with me. Okay. So let me let me switch to the board. Let me switch to the presentation. Yeah, screen sharing is now paused. Yeah, here we go. So you would see, yeah, you would see the presentation now. Control L. Yeah. Now it will be full screen. Yeah. So we are starting with introduction. Very obvious that we start with the introduction to the course. Yeah. So we are looking at PMBOK 6 and 7. Yeah, in this introduction. 7 is already out. It has been out for more than a year now. Yeah. And 6 has been around for a much longer time. So we are talking about PMBOK. In case you do not know what is a PMBOK, we'll talk about that a little later. Yeah. So we are looking at PMBOK 6 and PMBOK 7 almost simultaneously. Yeah. Yeah. So this is a PMP exam prep course, live online training. This is also getting recorded in case you miss something. And if you feel like hearing some of the session once again, you can access the recording. Yeah, we will do it on 8 consecutive Saturdays, 4 hours each. Yeah. So that will give us about 32 hours, and we'll add up 3 hours from the preparation that you do, maybe by doing the mock test or what have you. And with that, we'll make it up to 35 hours, which is the eligibility for the PMP exam. Yeah, so that's how it will work. Here are some of the phone numbers as well as the URLs for preparation info. So please do call these numbers or do let the support know if you have a problem, and we will try to attend the problem at the earliest. Yeah. So here are some of the numbers on the screen for you. A US number as well as numbers from India. So you can call whatever is good for whatever is convenient for you. So here we are on the day-wise schedule. So we are on day 1 now. On day 1, we are going to look at the introduction part, which is what we are right now on. We have 12 principles, which is what we're going to look at in a short while from now. There's something very new and something probably very interesting as well. Yeah. 12 principles. So one of us who has done Scrum, I think that is yeah. I'm sorry, I'll get the name a little later perhaps. Yeah. Well, so those of you who have done Scrum, I think one of us has definitely done that. In Scrum also you have 12 principles, and PMBOK also now has 12 principles. This is something which is new, which came back with PMBOK 7, yeah, which came with PMBOK 7. Then we get into specific knowledge areas: stakeholder management, communication management, scope management, schedule, resource, cost, quality, procurement, risk, the entire gamut of project management and integration. So between day 1 and day 7, we would have covered the entire PMBOK. Yeah. We will then map it to PMBOK 7 on day 8. And also on day 8, we look at concepts in agile, because agile is very important from PMP point of view now. There are definitely questions around agile, what we call as the agile mindset. Yeah. So yeah, we'll therefore have to spend some time on agile, and that's what we will do on day 8. And day 8 is also for some for looking at exam approach if time permits. Yeah. And PMP application guide if time permits. I think you folks can do the application on your own. You probably don't need any assistance there. So we will keep day 8 as partially as a buffer and partially as a to map PMBOK's 6 and 7, and also to look at agile concepts. So that is how the course pans out. It's a long haul, 8 days into 4. 8 days is almost like 8 days in 1 day a week is almost like 2 months. But I'm sure you'll find it interesting enough, and you will stay on the call for all the 8 days. Till now, very rarely, people have kind of abandoned this call and did not rejoin. But most of the people do continue for 8 days, which I am very happy about. Yeah. So that's how the course looks like. I hope you are able to hear me, and I hope you are able to follow me more than that. If you want me to speak a little slower, I can do that. If you want me to speak a little faster, I can do that. Yeah. So please let me know. I hope you are able to make out what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. Please let me know if it is otherwise. Yeah. So here we have some interesting numbers, not even rounded off. Yeah. So would be very exact numbers. So one news is that there are already more than 1 million PMP holders in the world. Yeah, 1 million. We already, I think it is 1 million and probably halfway through. Yeah, to 1.5 million. That is where we are. PMP as a certification has been growing at a rate of about 12 to 14% every year since the certificate came out in 1996, I think. Yeah. So there are already more than 1 million holders of PMP now. Yeah. So 100,000 recognized PMPs across 214 territories worldwide. So it's there all over the world. The top 10 countries are US, where you have 372726. Yeah. That is the PMP holder number of PMP holders in US, then followed by China. Yeah. So that is 372,000 approximately, or 373,000 in the US approximately. In China, approximately 343,000. Yeah. In Canada, another big number. Yeah. But the number is much reduced for Canada and then India. I'm a little surprised about India. I thought there would be more, but the number is still very small, 47,000 right now. Yeah. So that's how it looks like. So US, China, Canada, India, Japan, Saudi Arabia. I think in China there is a government, there is a push from the government that more and more people do PMP. Yeah, Saudi Arabia, Brazil, Germany, these are the top 10 countries, and Singapore also. Yeah, Singapore, although it's such a small country, but they make it in the top 10. And no wonder Singapore is great in terms of project management. Yeah. So here are the top 10 countries once again. Yeah. The same list slightly moderated now in the upcoming slide. One second. Yeah, this whiteboard which comes with this meeting package has some issues. Yeah. Anyway, unless I change to the if I'm using the spotlight, if I'm using a laser, I can't move to the next slide. Yeah. So I have to go back, change the laser, change it to normal mode, and then again come back, and then we go to the next page. It's a bit cumbersome. Anyway, so here what we are looking at is that we have divided the numbers by 1 million, yeah, to normalize that. Yeah. So in Singapore we have got 2,200 approximately PMP certificates certified per 1 million, and in Canada it is about 1,800 per million. So these are the numbers per million, the number of PMP holders. Yeah. Just FYI. So compared, when it's interesting to see that Trinidad and Tobago is in this list, although it's a small country. Hong Kong is in the list. Yeah. So PMP is definitely something which is being sought after, and there are reasons for it, which we'll see in a little while from now. So one good news, yeah, and definitely a good news after you get your PMP. And the good news is that PMP certification opens doors to higher earning potential. Yeah, so you will earn more if you have a PMP certificate. Yeah, if you have a PMP certification, and how much more? Yeah, so those numbers are also out. I'm seeing these numbers for the first time. Yeah. So in the US, you get approximately 25% more if you have a PMP certification. In Brazil, it is 25, which is which is a big number. 25%, 32% in Poland, 58% in South Africa, yeah, and 36% in India. Yeah. And if you don't get these increments, don't come to me, please. You can contact my colleague Ashish. If this is not true, if you approach somebody for a job and if you get less than 36% here in India or in the US, less than 25%. Yeah. So these are the numbers as of now. So I don't know about the numbers really, but still, it is one thing is for sure, that PMP qualification has become something which is mandatory. So unless you have, thank you, Ashish, for helping me out. So Ashish he says that this data is from PMI, so that means this data must be authentic. Ashish, I was just saying it in a lighter vein, that in case you don't get this hike, contact Ashish, catch hold of Ashish. I was saying that partly as a joke. Don't take it so seriously, Ashish. Thank you, Ashish. Yeah, okay, so folks, back to you. So PMP, as I was saying, PMP has lots of credibility in the market, and it has become some kind of a hygiene factor. Unless you are a PMP, they won't even probably call you for an interview. Yeah? So that it becomes like a gating criteria. Yeah? Unless you cross that gate of PMP qualification, they won't even entertain you. Yeah. So that's PMP and the power of PMP in terms of increments that you will get. Yeah. In the US, how does the scene look like? So there were you would get $92,000 without a PMP, and with a PMP, it is now it is $115,000. Yeah, which is quite a jump. Yeah. So here's a quick graph. This is again from PMI. Yeah, so it is authentic data. So the US median salary is based on number of years of having a PMP. Yeah. So if you have a PMP for 1 to 5 years, you get about 103,000, 104,000. Yeah. If it is between 5 and 10, it goes up, and if it is between 10 and 20, it again goes up to 130. So definitely, doing a PMP is a good proposition in terms of the money you earn on that. Yeah. So yeah, it also has credibility in terms of the way they conduct the exam. Yeah. There are no shortcuts there. Yeah. The exam is a bit tough, not very tough, yeah, but moderately tough. Yeah. Not very easy either. And it takes effort to pass the exam, to prepare for the exam. You just can't walk in and pass the exam. So it has lots of credibility for sure. Even now, since it has been there since 1969, but still PMI and PMP have maintained their name and their credibility. So on a serious note, yeah, having a PMP definitely matters. Yeah. Another statistic, another report about where are the gaps in the industry which a PMP can fill in, and there are substantial gaps. This report is slightly outdated, but still as an illustration, whereas the numbers which we saw just now, 25% hike and number of PMPs per thousand, these results are fairly recent, as recent as about within last 1 year, whereas this report is slightly older, but it is forecasting something for the future, what will happen in 2027, for example, and therefore this report still has some value, and that's why we are looking at this report. We'll do this rather quickly. We won't spend much time on this. So by 2027, I'm at the bottom of the screen, bottom right. By 2027, employers will need 87.7 million individuals working in project management oriented roles. So roles which call for project management skills, roles which call for adding value to the customer, roles which call for leading a team and whatnot. So all of this, that is project management. So you have a requirement of 87.7 million individuals are required, those who have worked in project management or project management oriented roles. You need not be a project manager here. It can be a project team member also. So that's because the available talent is reaching retirement age, and there is you have to fill in, and for that you require about 87.7 million individuals. Taking this a little further, where all do we have talent gaps in a big way? So here are they marked on this map. Canada, the US, Brazil, the UK. I think this must be Germany. Saudi Arabia, perhaps. India, China, Japan, Australia. So that this is where the lot of action is happening. And I'm sure lots of action is happening in Africa as well. This report is slightly old, as I said, outdated. So maybe that's why it doesn't show Africa in this picture. So if this talent gap is continued to exist, if we do not close this gap, there's a potential loss of projected loss of $207.9 billion US dollars in GDP through 2027 for the 11 countries analyzed here. So the numbers are a bit scary if you look at this number, and that shows we need project management for sure, and that's why all of us are here. A quick breakup of where all do we see vacancies, or rather where do we not see vacancies, opportunities. Manufacturing and construction 9.7, followed by in information services and publishing 5.5 million, 4.6 finance and insurance. So think of something in any sector and you require project management and professional services, you require project managers. Utilities, you require project managers. Oil and gas, where some of us are working, again you require project managers. So wherever you go, in whichever industry, in whichever sector you go, you require project managers, and that's why we are here. So a question to ask would be, okay, what does project management, what does it mean? What are the talents expected of a project manager? What are the talents one should have to become an effective project manager? And long back, maybe about 10 years back, PMI created this copyrighted stuff. It is called as PMI's talent triangle. I repeat, PMI's talent triangle is what this is called. And PMI has had some kind of revolution there about 10 years back, that we have been emphasizing a lot on technical project management all along. Technical project management. We have ignored or we have overlooked strategic and business management and leadership, and that is what we should now look at. It is high time. So project managers for a long time, since 1950s, since 1940s, till about recently, yeah, till about 2000 to 2005, around that time frame. Yeah, till then, project management was largely concentrating on, or project managers were largely concentrating on technical project management. Yeah, the left side of the triangle, technical project management, which meant, for example, I know how to create a schedule, I know how to create the budget for the project, and I know how to monitor what's happening, and I know if variance goes over this limit, I need to act on it, and I know how to build in quality and whatnot. So all of what I said just now, all of what I mentioned just now was all about technical project management. Somewhere about 10 years back, PMI had this epiphany, I think it is called, yeah, which because of which they said, okay, it is not sufficient. We also need leadership. So we need project manager not only as a manager, we also need a project manager as a leader, somebody who can show a longish vision, somebody who can connect to the corporate business for which the project is working, somebody who could resolve conflicts between stakeholders, somebody who could negotiate with stakeholders, motivate the team members, yeah, convert a crowd of people into a team, yeah. So all of that would be leadership. So PMI says that leadership is also as important as technical project management. And a little later, we are going to see the weightage, excuse me, the weightage that PMI gives to technical project management and leadership. Yeah. So we are talking about this triangle. So we talked about the technical project management. We talked about leadership. Yeah. Then we have strategic and business management. So PMI also said about 10 years back, when they came with this triangle, that project managers cannot be cannot close their eyes and ears to what is happening in the rest of the industry, in the rest of the world, in the rest of the economy. So project managers also need to have some some talent for looking at what's happening around in the industry, in the economy, in the country, in the world, and how does it impact our project management? What do we need to do differently? Is the project really required now? Yeah, or it is a redundant project that we are working on. Yeah, so that would be strategic and business management. Of course, you don't give a lot of weightage to this as a project manager, but still you should be aware. Yeah, you cannot be totally oblivious and work with blinkers on only on your project. Yeah, you need to look at the project environment as well. Yeah, so that is project management talent triangle. This is copyrighted by PMI. Yeah, we'll see the exact utility of this in the exam a little later. Yeah, we need to remember these three: technical and project management, leadership, and strategic and business management. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what do we aim at is you get project management institution, PMI's PMP certification. Yeah. And instead of Daniel Zelva, maybe it should be your name, which you would see here. That's what we're trying to do. Yeah. That's why you are here in the course, and I would like to wish you all the best right away, in advance. Yeah. So how do we get this? Yeah, what are some of the procedures, some of the prerequisites, some of the conditions that we need to fulfill before we aspire, before we appear for the PMP exam? Yeah, PMI's PMP exam. So here we go. So PMP eligibility requirements. What all should you have as prerequisite before you can qualify for the certification. Yeah, everybody cannot qualify. Yeah, you have to have some minimum education, some minimum project management experience. Yeah, some minimum project management education. Yeah, you need to have all this, and then only you would qualify for appearing for the PMP exam. So here are the eligibility criteria. Yeah. There's a lot on the slide. I'm not going to read every line. Yeah. So broadly, there are three categories. One is that you have a secondary degree, yeah, high school diploma, associate's degree or global equivalent. That is one. Second category is 4-year degree. You have a 4-year degree, a bachelor's degree, or its equivalent. Yeah. Or you have a bachelor's or postgraduate degree from a GAC, GAC. GAC is a program which is which PMI has, and it's a certification program. So anybody who is offering project management education, yeah, and if they want to be recognized by PMI, they need to go through this GAC accreditation. Yeah. So unless they go through this accreditation, which is a mouthful, yeah, they won't be. So if you have passed an exam, if you got a bachelor's degree or master's degree from a GAC, yeah, that would be a third category of qualifications, educational background. So educational background is not sufficient alone. You also require project management experience, and how much? Yeah. So if you have done a secondary degree, you require 5 years or 60 months, both mean the same. Yeah. Unique experience, non-overlapping experience of professional project management experience is what you would require. Yeah. Leading and directing the project as identified with tasks, knowledge, specific skills, yeah, in PMI. So that is what you require here. In case you have done a 4-year degree, then the second condition is slightly kind of diluted. Yeah. Then you require only 3 years of experience as opposed to 5 years. Yeah. So 3 years or 36 months, which mean the same. Non-overlapping experience of project management. Yeah. If you have a GAC accreditation institute from where you have done a degree, yeah, then you are a little better off. You require only 2 years of experience, yeah, because you have come from a GAC accreditation institute. Yeah, you require only 2 years of experience, 2 years or 24 months. Yeah. I don't know if GAC program is very popular nowadays. I've not heard of it for some time. But anyway, it is there on the list. So that's why I thought I should mention that. Yeah. Now, yeah, you require a degree or whatever, secondary degree, 4-year degree, whatever it is. You require experience in project management, and you require project management education. Yeah. And for how long? So you require in all the three categories. Now it is very simple. In all the three categories, you require 35 contact hours of formal education. Yeah. Whether you are, whatever degree you have, whatever length of time you have studied for the degree, irrespective of that, it is all 35. Yeah. If you are a CAPM holder, yeah, if you have done CAPM is another certification from PMI, certified associate in project management. Yeah, certified associate in project management is slightly easier than PMP. It is less demanding. The exam is less strenuous, yeah, less rigorous. So if you have a CAPM already under your belt, then you don't require 35 contact hours. Yeah, you can straight away, using your CAPM, instead of 35 hours, you can appear for the exam. Yeah. So that holds good for all the three categories: 35 contact hours or CAPM certificate. Yeah. So CAPM is meant for those who do not have much experience. Yeah. I think CAPM requires no experience at all. Yeah. So you can appear for CAPM, hold it till you gain the experience of 60 months or 5 years or whatever it is, and then apply for PMI. That is how it is supposed to work. Yeah. So that is PMP eligibility requirements. Since this is very essential, please do let me know if you have a question here. I can definitely take a question or two on this particular table, and Ashish is also there to help me out. So any question here from anyone? Do you have a doubt? Do you have a question on what you see on the screen right now? I'm waiting to hear from you.
I have a question. The degree. If you have a degree in engineering, are you eligible, or must it be a degree in project management or secondary degree, or high school or postgraduate?
I'm sorry. I'm not able to hear you very clear, Morori.
I'm asking if you have a degree in engineering, are you eligible, or must it be a project management degree?
No, the degree can be in anything. It can be in engineering. It can be in finance. It can be anything. It does not have to be project management.
Okay. Yeah.
It does not have to be. Does not have to be in project management. No. Yeah. Thank you for that question. That was very important.
Okay. Last one. Does this course cover the certified contact hours for formal education, or I need to seek that elsewhere?
So your question is about 35 contact hours. I understood that part. The other part,
So,
I'm sorry, I did not understand. Can you come close to the mic if you don't mind, Morori?
No, I'm sorry. I just said I had a tooth extraction, so I'm struggling to talk. I'm asking, does this preparation really cover the 35 contact hours, or I need to seek it elsewhere? Let me type.
Yeah, if I understood your question right, at the end of this course, 32 hours of course, you'll get a certificate from PMI, from PreparationInfo, which you can present to PMI when you apply for the PMP exam. So you will get a certificate, a proper certificate with number of hours mentioned. If that was your question,
all right.
I got it right.
Yes, it's all. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, yes, Afzad, please go ahead, either on chat or the microphone, as you feel like.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I think this course, I think, is meant for PMP, not so.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Now,
so what was? I'm sorry. Did I say something else apart?
You've mentioned about the qualification for this course, and yes, the education background, that one is okay. Project management experience, maybe that one is okay. My issue is on project management education, because as we come to this course, we can. I thought that it is about the PMP certification, and now I'm seeing the CAPM. So does it mean that before we get to the PMP course, we'll first go through the CAPM certification? I just want some clarification on that.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I ever conveyed in this course that this course is about CAPM. This course is not about CAPM. Yeah, this course is about PMP. Yeah. So at the end of this course, you will be eligible for applying for the PMP exam. Yeah. CAPM is a different certificate. Yeah, we are not going to talk more about that. But the course material, the course coverage for CAPM as well as PMP is the same. Yeah, the topics that they cover are the same. The exam for CAPM is less stringent, as I said. Yeah.
Okay.
So in case you have a CAPM already under your belt, In case you have it, you can skip the 35 contact hours. You don't need 35 contact hours of education if you have a CAPM. If you don't have, then you require 35 contact hours. Yeah. Did I make it clear, Afazad? I hope no such doubt again back in your mind.
Yeah, very clear.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. Okay, so I thank you for Afzad for asking that question. Maybe some other folks on this call also would have the same apprehension or the same doubt. Thanks to your question, that has been taken care of. Yeah. Looks like there is no question right now from anyone else, neither on chat nor on the voice. Yeah. So we move ahead. Now we know eligibility requirements for sure. Yeah. So if you already have experience of whatever is required here as per this table, and if you have a degree as shown in this table, then you can straight away apply for the PMP exam after this course gets over. Okay. How much do you pay? Yeah, you don't. There is the fees for PMI are little on the higher side, should I say? Of late, they have been kind to some specific countries, including India, where they have reduced the fees. But of course, that doesn't help me because I did my PMP long time back by paying whatever course fee you see here for the US and everybody else. Yeah. Okay. Shalom. I'll just okay. Shalom has a question. I'll take it right away before we start on this table on the screen right now. Yeah. So Shalom says, is it based on IT? No, it is not IT projects only. It is any and every project, whether it is construction, whether it is charity work, whether it is oil and gas extraction, or what have you. Setting up a rig somewhere in the middle of the ocean for oil and gas extraction. Yeah, so it applies to any and every kind of project, big or small, simple or complex. Yeah, proven technology or unknown technology, whatever you have. So it does not apply only to IT projects. It applies to all kinds of projects. It can be used for civil engineering or whatever. Yeah, I hope, Shalom, I have clarified. Maybe the reason for you to ask this question is because we talked about Scrum, we talked about Agile some time back. Yeah, so these Scrum and Agile, they come from the IT, they come from software. And what PMI is trying to do now, in fact, it has already done that. Yeah, there's no question of trying to do. What PMI has done of late is that it has pushed Agile into PMP. By and they argue their logic or their stand is that Agile will be useful for any kind of project. It can be oil and gas, it can be agriculture, it can be charity, it can be civil engineering. So whatever you do, Agile can be applied there. That is what PMI of late has been saying, and that's why we also have Agile in this course now. But that does not mean in any way, Shalom and everybody else, that this course is only for IT. No, it is for any and every project. Yeah. So Shalom, I hope I have clarified. Yeah. I hope you have no further question. If you have, please do let me know. Yeah. I hope Shalom heard me. Shalom heard me. There's no acknowledgement from him right now. Okay. Anyway, maybe it will come later. Yeah. You are welcome, Shalom. I was just waiting for your thank you. I hope you don't have any doubt now. Okay. So how much do we pay? So there is something called as PMI membership. Yeah, it has nothing to do with PMP at all. It does not require any qualification. It does not require any experience. Yeah, you have to be just above, I think, legal 18 years of age, or maybe it is 20, 21. I'm not sure of that. But anyway, so you can become a member of PMI. Yeah, it's an annual membership. You keep on paying annual membership, and you continue to be a PMI member. So it is as simple as that. So why am I talking about PMI membership here? That is because if you are a PMI member, you get substantial discounts on the exam fee. Yeah, so if you look at the first row here, if you look at the first row, center-based testing, that you go to a testing center, and the test is online. It's not a pen and a paper test, and it's not a test you take at home. You go to a center, and if you are a member of PMI already, while you apply for PMP exam, you get a discount. You get a discount of 400 and you get you need to pay $405. If it's a US. If you are not a member, then you pay about $150 more. $555 is what you pay for the exam fees. If you convert that to euros, you have the numbers here: 340 for members, 465 for the non-members. BRL will perhaps be Brazil. I'm not sure. Yeah, Ashish, if you're still on the call, please clarify. Does BRL mean Brazil? Anyway, there is nobody from Brazil on this call, so we can quickly move on. If Ashish is around, he can just clarify. Yeah. If you are in India, like I am, and like Yash is, so then in the fees will be 23,459 if you are a member of PMI, and almost double the amount if you are a non-member. 42,863. That would be the amount of fees that you would pay. In case you have to go for a re-exam, and God forbid that you appear for the exam and you don't pass the exam. In that case, you will have to reappear. You have to do a re-examination. So in case you do a re-examination, here are the numbers. If you are a member, you spend $275. If you're a non-member, you pay a little higher, that is $375. Now, how many times can you do a re-exam? That would be the next question on everybody's mind. So the number is 3, or rather the number is 2. The first exam and the 2 re-exams. So you can take 2 re-exams in a year. So let us say you apply for PMI today, and within a week you are considered eligible. You are told to pay the fees. You pay the fees. Then your 1 year time window opens. It starts. The clock starts, and within that 1 year, you have to get the PM. Within that, so either in the first attempt or in the 2 re-exam, you should get the PMP. In case you don't get the PMP within the first year, then if you fail, let us say twice, your re-exam doesn't succeed. In that case, you have to wait for 1 year. So that is re-examination fee. CCR renewal. CCR is continuing. What is that? Continuing whatever. It is basically continuation of PMI. A continuation of PMP rather. So after you get the PMP, you automatically do not become a PMP for your entire life. You have to keep on renewing your PMP degree or PMP certificate. And how do you renew that? You renew it by getting PDUs. You renew it by getting PDUs. What does PDU? PDU is one more abbreviation now. So in case you are wondering what it is professional development units. PDUs. So to continue with your PMP certification, to keep it valid, you need to earn 60 PDUs in 3 years. In 3 years, you need to earn 60 PDUs in 3 years. After you earn 60 PDUs, which you can earn by by imparting PM education, which you can earn by presenting a paper somewhere, which you can earn by reading a book somewhere, reading some article somewhere. So by doing PM activities, you get a PM related activities, you get PDUs. Those PDUs should add up to 60 within 3 years, and then you are eligible to continue with your PMP. Otherwise, your PMP will lapse. Yeah. So and one more, and after after getting 60 PDUs, I'm sorry, after getting 60 PDUs for renewing your PMP PMP certification, you need to pay the fees as well. Yeah, and those fees are shown in this table in the last 2 rows. Yeah. So if you are a member, you pay $60 as a renewal fee. If you are not a member, you pay $150 as a renewal fee. Yeah. So that's the story on PMP certification. Yeah. The fees, the different, the rates which are different, the fees which are different for members and non-members. How do you re-examination? How do you do that? How much you pay for that? And continuing education requirements. CCR is continuing certification renewal or something. Yeah, that is CCR. Yeah. So for CCR, what you need to do and how much you need to pay. So that is what we tried to follow in this particular slide. Any question here? Anything that you would like to ask? Yeah. Thank you. That is Brazilian, as I guessed right. Our dollar is Brazilian dollars. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know the currency of Brazil. Whatever the currency is.
I have a question. So when you pass the PMP class exam, how long is that certificate valid for?
Yeah. So when you pass the PMP exam, what's the question? How long is the certificate valid?
Yes, like if it's I know it has an expiration date. Is it for like 5 years, 3 years? How long is it for before you have to do the renewal?
Okay, that's what I said some time back, Omar. But anyway, the time period is 3 years. The certificate is valid for 3 years, and within those 3 years, you have to earn 60 PDUs, professional development units. And if you get those 60 PDUs, after 3 years, you can apply for renewal. Just at the close of the 3rd year, you can apply for a renewal. Or they will inform you, in fact, that you have got 60 PDUs. Will you be interested in renewing now? And they will keep on reminding you also of that. So yeah, the simple answer to your question is 3 years is the validity of the certificate. Yeah, you can renew it within the 3 years for 3 more years.
Okay, thank you.
And that is how it goes. In case you break this cycle, in case you do not renew, I think you get a 1 year grace period, and in case you do not renew even within the 1 year grace period, then your certificate expires.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So
I have a quick question.
Just a moment. Let me clarify one last point to Omar before I forget. Just a moment, if you don't mind. So Omar, one last thing here would be that what was I trying to say? Just a moment. Maybe I'm sorry, I just forgot. I'll come back when I remember. Omar. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. There's someone was trying to ask a question.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
No problem.
Other than getting access to discounts, what other benefits are there to have a PMI membership?
Okay, Tamara, thank you very much.
Or PMP membership. Just 1 or 2 benefits. You're welcome.
Yeah, there are quite a few benefits. Yeah. Tamara, thank you for raising this question. Otherwise, this point I would not have brought this point out. Yeah. So you get discounts for sure, as you see in this table. In addition to that, you get host of good stuff. Yeah, good things on becoming a member. One, you can download any and every PMI document. Yeah, all the standards for project management, standards for program management, standards for schedule management, standards for earned value management. So there are quite almost like a lots of interesting things to read from these documents. Then there is a PMI magazine called as PM Network. Yeah, you can get access to all the issues, back issues if you want, current issue if you want. Yeah, you can become a member of a task force, which they keep on announcing once in a while. Yeah, it's basically voluntary work. Yeah, you join a group and you do something from that group. Yeah, so that too you can do if you're a member of PMI. What else can yeah, you can attend their meetings. There are local PMI chapters. For example, there's a chapter in my town, my city, and they meet every alternate weekends. So many times I go to those meetings, get network with people, learn something new which I did not know before. So there are plenty of advantages if you are a member, not just discount in the fees, but host of other benefits that you get. Tamara, thank you once again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so Omar, I was trying to clarify to you. You do not have to appear for the PMP exam again if you keep on meeting these requirements of 60 PDUs over 3 years. You do not have to appear for the exam. That's a question which some people have. That in case the PMI moves into a new version of the standard, do you have to appear for the exam again? No, you don't have to. You keep on earning 60 PDUs and keep on renewing your membership. You don't have to appear for the exam at all. Yeah, Omar, I was just trying to. I had missed this point when I talked to you last.
Sounds
That's
good.
why.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I have a question coming on chat. Afazad says, "Is it my network or you are breaking?" I don't think I am breaking, Afazad.
Yeah, I think it was my
Can you hear me
network.
loud, very clear? Can somebody please confirm?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, Afzat, is it okay now? Can somebody please confirm that you can hear me?
Yes, I
Thank you in
can hear
advance.
you. I can hear you.
Thank you, Tamara. Thank you. Thanks
You're
a lot.
welcome.
Yeah. So, Afazad, if you still have a problem,
I have a question.
I'm right now I'm on a speed of about 370 megabits per second, which is quite high. Yeah, sorry, Afzad.
Okay. I have a question.
Yes, please.
Can I go on? Yeah. Now about the membership, what does it take for one to be a member of PMI?
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I asked my question. What does it take for one to be a member of PMI?
Oh, there's to become a member of PMI, as I said, there is no qualification required. You just need to pay their fees. That's all. Nothing more than that. You have to pay the annual fee. That's all that is required. Afazad, nothing more than that. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Afzad. I hope you don't have any further extended question. Yeah, I'll move on to what Shalom has asked about. Shalom has asked, are all PMP exam questions coming from these notes which you'll be teaching us? I wish that were true, Shalom. Yeah, PMI, they can get questions from anywhere. There is no. There's nobody, no training person like me can guarantee that questions will only come from what I teach you. No, PMI can ask officially, a question from any source. Yeah. Of late, PMI has made a list of 10 books, 10 references, 10, 110. It is not a small number. Yeah, they have made a reference of 10 books, and they say that by and large questions will be coming from one of these questions will be coming from these books. Yeah, and that list is available on PMI's website for you to see. Yeah. So Afzad says, what is the minimum fee? If I'm not wrong, the fee is about $120 to become a member of PMI. If I'm not wrong, I don't remember the number exactly. Yeah. Shalom says, after finishing the, my colleague, my dear Ashish has responded, USD 129. I said 120. I was off by $9. Yeah. Okay. So thank you, Ashish. Yeah. Shalom has another question. After we finish the course, how long shall we wait before we do the first exam? There is no number specified there. So, you can wait. I'm exaggerating. Perhaps you can wait for 5 more years, and this certificate will still be valid. This course will still be valid. PMI nowhere specifies that after you do the course, how long can you postpone the exam? You can postpone it for as many years as you want. This certificate which you get out of the course will be valid forever. Yeah. And of course, I'm sure you will not wait for a long time. You will appear very as soon as you can. Yeah. Because the more you wait, the you forget what you learned here or what you read at home. Yeah. So Shalom, it is advisable that you appear for the exam maybe within 3 months. That is what is good. Yeah. Okay. So looks like there are no questions right now. Yeah, on chat or anywhere else. We are at about 1.5 hours into the call. It's 8 p.m. approximately my time, about 10 minutes to 8 p.m. What we'll do is we'll quickly look at a couple of more slides. Yeah, maybe for another 5 minutes to 7 minutes, and then we'll take a break. Yeah, I know you'll be waiting for a break. It has been it is close to 1.5 hours on the call. Yeah. Okay. Okay. There is one more question. Yeah, that's a very valid question, and I'm glad you raised it. Yeah. I'm glad, Jackson, you raised this question. How will PMI confirm that I undertook the 35 hours training? Yeah, PMI will confirm that by when you apply for the exam, you would say how much training you did, 35 hours, 40 hours, 48 hours, whatever is the number. The minimum is 35. You can make it 100 hours also. That doesn't matter. So you will be asked to specify the number of hours of training that you underwent. Then you will be asked to specify the name of the training company or name of the place where you got the training from. Maybe your office, maybe a college, maybe a training company like PreparationInfo. Yeah, you'll be asked the dates on which you did this training, starting date and finishing date. So that is how they will confirm that you took this training. In some rare cases, so what PMI does is that it at random it picks up certain applications at random, and then those applicants are audited for every small thing they have mentioned in the application. Like for example, where did you work? Where did you for how long did you do a project? Who was your project project manager or your project colleague? Can you give us a reference? So all that will be audited in case your application comes up for a random audit. So in that case, PMI may ask you to give a physical copy of the certificate. of all the certificates that you have claimed. Yeah. So otherwise, PMI will go by whatever you say in the application. Yeah. They will not try to confirm that from some other source. They will believe you, they will trust you, and your application will go ahead. But in some cases, there will be a random check, and they randomly pick out applicants and go through a complete audit. So in case your application comes in that random audit thing, then you will have to show your hard copies, hard certificate hard copies, whatever you have claimed in the application. So Jackson, that was a good question. That is an important point perhaps, which otherwise I would not have spoken about. So thanks, Jackson. I hope I have taken care of your question. Yes, thank you, Jackson. Yeah. Afzad, does this course ever cover the 35 hours that you mentioned as a requirement? Yeah, it does. What is MPM? I think you mean PMP perhaps, Afzad. Yeah, this course does that. Yeah, it gives you 35 hours. It gives you a certificate that you have done a 35-hour course, and that you can submit that along with the application for the exam. Yeah. Thank you, yeah, Afzad, Jackson, Afzad again. Yeah. Okay, looks like there are no more questions right now. We should move ahead. Okay, so so I think Tamara had asked about the benefits of PMI membership. So here they are. I already gave an official list then and there. So you get access to PMI's knowledge and information, all their publications, all the books that they have. They used to have a library some time back. Opportunities for career development and advancement. You make contacts, you network with people. Yeah. And the networking goes across the globe. You may be working with a voluntary program, maybe in the somebody in the US would be running that, and maybe you get travel opportunities also. Yeah, maybe off late no, because of the COVID and other issues, but you get, if you are working on some task forces, you could even travel. Yeah, you could even participate in the process for setting up the exam. Maybe if you are if you're called for that. So there can be very interesting opportunities to do interesting work and network because of PMI membership. Yeah. Leadership development opportunities. There are training courses offered by PMI. You can do those courses. You get a certificate as well as you get to learn something new. A chance to advocate for and impact the advancement of the profession. So back in your organization, maybe you can advocate project management. You can push project management. You can make people learn and practice project management. Yeah. That's what you can do as a PMI member. Yeah. Okay, so we will cover this slide. Yeah, and yeah, maybe we'll just cover this slide only. Yeah, and take a break. Yeah. So if you take so let us talk about the exam now. We talked about the eligibility for the exam. Yeah, we have talked about the PMP certification being so useful and all that. Yeah. So now let us talk about the exam itself, and the PMP certification exam. So what do they test for? Yeah. What do they look for from you? Yeah. So they are basically looking for demonstration of competencies from you. Yeah. So a project manager has to have certain competencies. There's a finite list of that available as a reference. You can look at that. It is available even to non-members. Yeah. You can look at the list of competencies required in the project manager. So so they have a list of that, and all the questions in the exam will relate to those competencies. There will be nothing outside those competencies in the exam. Yeah. So there are broadly three domains, yeah, under the in which the competencies will be divided. So one domain is people. The second domain is process, and the third domain is business environment. Yeah. So are you good at, for example, leading people? Are you good at, for example, listening to somebody with a big grievance? Are you good at negotiating with your customer? So can you demonstrate that through the exam questions? Yeah? So that would be the people part. Yeah? So they will look for, do you have these people related competencies? Yeah? Emphasizing on leadership and communications. That is one part. So 42% of the questions in the exam, almost like close to 50%, yeah, are about people domain. Yeah, 42% of the questions are about people domain. Then there's a process domain. Process domain corresponds to the traditional project management competencies. Yeah, making a schedule, creating a budget, scoping the project out, risk abatement, risk mitigation. So these are all classic project management competencies which have been there for a long time. Yeah? People competencies have come in recently into project management. Compared to that, process competencies have been there for a long time. So these questions are about the process of planning, process of executing, the standard project management. So that would cover 50% of the exam, or 50% of the questions in the exam will have process in the background. They'll be around the process of planning, executing, monitoring, and whatnot. Yeah? Classical project management, 50%. And the third domain, these are called as domains. The third domain is business environment. Yeah? How much are you? How much are you aware of the business in which your project is working? How does the business impact your project? How do you impact the business? Do you know how critical, how strategic your project is? Do you know who is the beneficiary and what's the benefit and when is it going to happen? So all that. So that would be business environment. And just 8% of the questions will be based on business environment. So majority of the questions are either process, about process, or about people. So that's about how the questions get divided. Where is the emphasis? Where the emphasis is less? Yeah. So yeah, maybe it is time to take a break. Yeah. Unless there's a very urgent question which cannot wait. Let me just confirm that there is no question waiting for me. Yeah, there is no question waiting right now. So we'll take a break now. We'll take a 10-minute break. Yeah, it's 10 minutes now. So I hope you're back on the call. Welcome back. We were talking about PMP exam. Yeah, and that took us to the three domains that we talked about. And the three domains are where people, process, and business environment. Those were the three domains. Yeah, people, process, and business environment. So let us spend some more time on what are these three domains. So the word used by PMI is, the term used by PMI is domains. So how does it look? So right now we have got three domains. Yeah, as so I have switched over to the whiteboard. The board on the GoToMeeting is not all that great. It doesn't work all that well. So I have to switch to this Microsoft whiteboard once in a while. Yeah, it's good. I can write very clearly, legibly on this. Yeah. So we are talking about domains. Yeah, thank you, Tony. Thank you, Shalom. So Afzad, if you can't hear me, maybe there's a problem at your end. Could you please, maybe the simplest thing that you can do is rejoin the call. Yeah. Okay. So we are talking about domains. We know 3 domains: people, process, and business. Yeah. From domains we get tasks. So do not confuse these tasks with the tasks as we see in a schedule, in a project schedule. Yeah. So these tasks are, there are specific tasks under each domain. Say, for example, in people domain, one task could be to manage conflicts. Yeah. In the process domain, one task could be to identify risks. Yeah. In the business domain, one task could be about alignment with the business of the customer. Yeah. Aligning would be one task. Yeah. So there are very specific tasks that a PM should be aware of, should be practicing. Yeah. The number is finite. It is not a list which can reduce sometime, which can increase sometime. No, it's a constant. Yeah. It has got a fixed number of tasks under each domain, under people, under process, under business. To do the tasks, you require enablers. Yeah. The technical word used is enablers. Yeah. So Afzad, I'm sorry you are facing so many problems. I hope you are able to hear me. Yeah. Okay, Afzad. I'll we just started, Afzad. You didn't really miss much. Yeah. But anyway, once again, we discussed before the break that there are 3 domains: people, process, and business. Yeah. And under each of these domains, there are tasks. Yeah. Which a project manager should be practicing, should be implementing on the project as required. Yeah. So the number of tasks is finite. Yeah. So is a defined list of tasks that the PM should do. Say, for example, under people domain, a PM would negotiate with the stakeholders. Yeah. Under the process domain, a PM would create a Gantt chart. Now, these are not exact and correct examples, but I'm just giving you to give you some idea about what is under tasks. Yeah. Or business, there could be another 2 or 3. There could be a couple of tasks under that. Maybe alignment, maybe compliance with government regulations. Yeah, that could be a task. That adhere by the government regulations could be one task. Yeah. Or get an audit, get some audit done. Yeah, that could be a task under business. Yeah. So there are finite number of tasks. Yeah. And then we have enablers, which will help you to do those tasks. So enabler is a generic term which can include tools, yeah, which can include techniques, yeah, which could include tools, techniques, some thumb rules, checklists. Yeah. So this number is not finite. Yeah. Based on how things change, you could get new enablers for doing a task. Say, for example, what an example that comes to my mind immediately is that a project manager will schedule a project. Yeah? Schedule project. This would be something which a project manager will do. Now, whatever project you are handling, you will have to schedule. You'll have to make a project schedule. Yeah? So that would be a task. This would be a task. Now, to make the schedule, you could use different methods. So long time back, there was a method called as activity on arrow. AOA. Yeah? And there was another a technique called as activity on nodes, AON. These are the enablers, AOA and AON. And now AOA is probably out. Nobody uses AOA. So it is not a tool and technique which perhaps you will not use this technique for scheduling. You will use AON. So enablers are basically these tools, techniques which keep on changing. You know, maybe some of them are no more valid. For example, some time back, yeah, there was a technique mentioned in PMBOK which was called as CCPM, Critical Chain Project Management, and now it is not there in the PMBOK. It is out. So the list of the enablers list will be not finite. Yeah. Sorry, I wrote not fine. That was wrong. It should be not finite. This list is not finite. It can keep on growing, reducing, adding, deleting, and whatnot. Yeah. So the questions in the exam will come from tasks. Yeah. And the questions may include some, a description of some enabler, some tool, or whatever, as you would see. So going back to where we were some time back, and that is just a moment. Yeah, here we are. We are back to the presentation. Yeah. So domain 1 is people. 42%. Yeah. Easy to remember. Half of 4 is 2. Yeah, 42%. Yeah. It concerns the who of the project management, stakeholders, team members, senior management, and what have you. Yeah. Except for a small scale personal project, every project will require a team. Am I right? It is hard to imagine a project being done by one single person. Yeah, there are single person projects, no doubt about that. But generally, you would require a team to do a project. And once you have a team, you have people, and once you have people, you have got a different set of issues, different set of things to do. You have to lead them, you have to persuade them, yeah, coordinate, do a team building, go for rock climbing with the team, what have you. Yeah? So there are 14 tasks here, 14 finite tasks. Yeah? Some of them are, for example, some of them are to do with managing conflict, yeah, leading a team, supporting team performance, building a team. So these would be the tasks in domain 1, which is people. Yeah? So they are all linked to leadership, communication. Yeah? So so with this, your people, how you handle people would improve with this domain. Then we have second domain, which has got to do with processes. Yeah? Domain 2 is process. 50% of the questions are on the process. Yeah? This is the traditional technical processes involved in the project. So very quickly, planning and managing the budget resources, assessing and managing risks will be a part of this. Yeah, planning and managing schedules will be part of this. Yeah? So in total, the exam content outline describes 17 tasks. Yeah, so there are 17 tasks in this domain. We will quickly look at the list of tasks in a while from now. Yeah, 1 second. And domain 3 is business environment. 8% of the questions, very small percentage. Yeah, there are only 4 domains there. I'm sorry, my mistake. There are only 4 tasks there. Yeah? Planning and managing project compliance with the regulatory authorities, with the government, or what a local community. Evaluating and delivering the project benefits and value. Yeah? So you ensure that whatever whatever benefit you were planning to get through the project, that benefit is really around. And beneficiaries are, they have the benefits now. So that would be benefit management, value management at the end of the project, throughout the project. Evaluating the external business environment constantly, supporting organizational changes. So this would be what you do as a part of business environment. 8% of the questions. So I hope you got an idea about what do we mean by domains, what do we mean by tasks, and what do we mean by enablers. So, but just to ensure that that is you really have followed it, I think I will open that document which lists all the tasks, which lists all the enablers, all the domains. Just a moment. It may take about 2 or 3 minutes for me to do that. Just hold on, please. Just a moment. I'm a little confused right now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still on the call. I'm trying to locate a file. It's not in the place where I expected it to be, but anyway, very soon I'll bring it up. Yeah, here we are. PMI Exam Content Outline. I'm sorry, I took a little longer than what I should have. Yeah, it is already shared with you. You can see it on your screen. Yeah, the document is called as Examination Content Outline. Yeah, popularly ECO is the name. I brought it up because I wanted to show you. 1 second. Let me zoom this a little. Yeah. And probably close this guy. Control L. Yeah. Okay. Can you see it now, or is it too small? Should I increase the? I think I should zoom it further. Just a minute. Yeah. Now it should be okay. I can scroll left to right and right to left. Yeah. Yeah. So we have domains. We talked about 3 domains. Yeah. We talked about tasks. We talked about enablers. So maybe we did not spend a lot of time. We did not give justice to enablers. Yeah. So a task statement. So under a domain you have a task. So we take people domain. Under people domain you have a task statement. Yeah. Manage conflict. Now how do you manage conflict? So there are enablers. Interpret the source and stage of the conflict. Yeah. Analyze the context for the conflict. Evaluate, recommend, reconcile the appropriate action in case there is a appropriate conflict resolution solution in case there is a conflict. So these enablers would be, can change. They are all dynamic. Yeah, the methods to manage a conflict can change from a place to, from a culture to culture, from place to place, from time to time. Yeah, so enablers could be changing quite fast. Task statements will not change that easily. Yeah, the number of task statements will remain fairly finite for a long period of time. Yeah. So let us see, instead of being so abstract, let us see some examples here. Yeah. So task 1. So domain people, 42%. Yeah. Task 1, manage conflict. Under manage conflict, you have got these enablers. Interpret the source and stage, analyze the context, evaluate, recommend, blah blah blah. Yeah. Task 2 is lead a team. So enablers are set a clear vision and mission, support diversity, value servant leadership, blah blah blah. So this list can change with time. Yeah? The list of enablers. Yeah? Task number 3, support team performance. Again, what do you do? There are praise team members' performance against key performance indicators. Support and recognize the team member, blah 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 blah. So this is how the domain, task, and enablers, these 3 go together. Yeah? I hope you are. I hope you have followed this. In case you have not, please do ask me any question that you might have. Yeah? So the exam will test for assess and manage risks. Are you able to assess and manage risks? Yeah? And then there could be some, they may mention an enabler, they may not mention an enabler, but they will basically look at, can you engage with stakeholders? So maybe give you a live example, or maybe give you a real example, a small case story about how stakeholders were not engaged well or were engaged well, and there could be some questions on that. Yeah? So the core thing in the exam is the tasks, the task list. Yeah? That is the core input to the exam. Yeah? So I hope this added value. The book that I showed you just now, the ECO that I showed you just now, Examination Content Outline. Yeah? I am moving back to the presentation, unless you have a question here. Yeah, on this document which I shared with you just now. ECO. This is available to everybody and anybody, even without logging in into PMI website. It is, even non-members can get it. Yeah. Okay, looks like there is no question right now from anybody. Okay. I'll close this document now. Okay, so we are back to the presentation. Okay, so we have made a transition. Yeah? We have made a transition from PMBOK 6 to PMBOK 7. Yeah? Could you please share the document URL from PMI website? Okay, just a moment. I'll do that. Only just a moment. Just a moment. I showed you my local copy, which I had downloaded.
I have a question. All these slides, are they on those files that they sent us to download for preparation of the course?
Yeah. You should get the slides either after this session, or I think you would have already got it beforehand.
Yeah, because they sent
I
us.
think you would have got it before.
Yeah, they sent us like 10 files that have like training slides, course agendas, books, case studies, and so forth. Those are the documents we're going to be using during this preparation, or is that something for us to study on the side?
Yes. Yeah, we will use the same slides in this course. Yeah, the one which you have got, one which you have received with the email. We'll follow the same slides. Nothing different from that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll just show you I'll just share the URL with everybody. Just a moment. Yeah, it's too slow today. I don't know why. Yeah, here we are. Yeah, here we are. Yeah, even Ashish did the same thing. Okay, fine. Thank you, Ashish. Thanks a lot. No. Anyway, Ashish has sent the link. Yeah, thank you, Ashish. I'll give up my effort on that. Okay. So coming back to where we left. Just a moment. Yeah. Why am I not able to expand this? Just a moment. I have some small technical issue here. I know what the issue is. I know how to take care of it. Just a moment. Yeah, now it is good. Yeah, the same as what back to where we were. Okay. So we have made a transition from PMBOK, excuse me, from PMBOK 6 to PMBOK 7. Yeah. In the transition, what has something really changed, or is this only the organization, the presentation part has changed? So if you ask me, the answer is the second one. Yeah. The core remains the same, and it's very logical also. Am I right? You cannot, how can you change project management? Project management, whether done in 1950s or project management done in 2022, will be the same. Techniques can differ. Yeah, you may get a new tool for that perhaps, or you may change to agile method, agile mindset or whatever. But project management will still be project management. Yeah, and therefore for between PMBOK 6 and PMBOK 7, the way things are organized, that has changed. but the core will still remain the same. So let us see what has changed. Yeah. So the orange one on the left hand side is PMBOK 6th edition, PMBOK Guide 6th edition. Yeah. I hope PMBOK is not something which is foreign to you. Is there anybody on the call who would like me to explain what is PMBOK? Maybe I thought everybody would be aware of it, but if not, I can spend about 5 minutes on it.
I am not aware. Could you please explain? Thank you.
Okay, Tamara. Tamara, you're welcome. Yeah. So I guess there will be some more folks who probably don't know, and thank you, Tamara, for speaking for everybody else also maybe. Yeah. So we will go back to the board, the whiteboard that is. Yeah, I think it's wrong on my part to assume that people would know about PMBOK. Yeah, it was my mistake, I would say. Yeah. So PMBOK is what we popularly call it as. Yeah, PMBOK 6, PMBOK 7, PMBOK 5, whatever. Yeah. So that is some kind of informal name. Yeah. The complete name is PMBOK Guide. PMBOK Guide. PMBOK expands to Project Management Body of Knowledge. Yeah. Because lots of when they formed PMI, they got people from different industries, different sectors, and then came out with the project management standard as used by them. Yeah. So it's based on the body of knowledge which existed then and which exists today. So it is called Project Management Body of Knowledge Guide. Yeah. And then it is qualified by the edition. Yeah. So you would say 6th edition, or you would say 7th edition, as the case may be. So every 4 years they have maintained some kind of a record that every 4 years they have released a new version of PMBOK. So there was a PMBOK some time back, a PMBOK 2, PMBOK 3. So every 4 years you would get a new version, a new edition. The correct word is edition. Yeah, a new edition. So right now what we have is PMBOK 7. Yeah. PMBOK Guide 7th edition, or PMBOK 7 is what we have got. So there are of course differences when we go from 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7. Yeah. So similarly, there are changes. There are changes between 6 and 7. And what are those changes is what we are trying to look at right now. Yeah. So typically, PMBOK has been a very thick document, and all the way from edition 1 to edition 6, the length or the number of pages was increasing. Yeah. For the first time, when we went from 6 to 7, the number of pages, the volume has gone, it has reduced. Yeah, we have about I think just about 300 and odd pages in PMBOK 7. Yeah, whereas in PMBOK 6 and it was about, I think it was about 900, I think around 800, and previously maybe it was 750. So every time it has been growing. This is the first time that they have reduced the size of PMBOK and tried to make it simpler to follow. Yeah. So that's why we were looking at the comparison between PMBOK 6 and PMBOK 7. Yeah. Let us get back to the board. Rather the presentation. The board is anyway on. Yeah. So I hope Tamara and others, you have no question on PMBOK now. Yeah. So broadly, so all the time, not just now, not just in PMBOK 6 or PMBOK 7, all the time, PMBOK was split into two parts. One was the standard which was approved by ANSI, and the other was the guide containing guidelines as to how you can do a project. It was only, they were guidelines, they were suggestions. Yeah. So a standard and a non-standard, a standard and you know a suggestion kind of a book, a guide rather. So these were the two parts, the standard and the guide. Yeah. So in the earlier case, in PMBOK 6 case, yeah, the contents were like this. Yeah. Introduction to introduction, project environment, role of the project manager was described here, and then there were 10 knowledge areas. Yeah. Integration, scope, schedule, all the way to stakeholders. And under each knowledge area, there were processes. Yeah. So maybe there were 7 processes under integration. Maybe there were 5 under scope. There were another 6 or 7 on schedule. Maybe 3 or 4 on cost. So every knowledge area had processes to describe how to manage a project. Yeah. And those processes had some template and all that. Yeah. We'll come to that. Yeah. So this is how it was done. You had knowledge areas. And then as a part of the standard, the ANSI standard, the processes were also split by initiating processes, planning processes, executing processes, monitoring and controlling processes, and closing processes. Yeah. So the processes were a part of the standard as well as a part of the guide. They were there in both the places, obviously. And then finally, the document ended with appendix, yeah, contributors and changes and whatnot. Yeah. Glossary of all the terms used in the guide and elsewhere, and the index. So that is how the document looked like earlier. So now what they have done is they have made some changes to the structure of the document. Yeah. So one thing is that the introduction is there. Introduction is introduction. Yeah. System for value delivery. So of late in PMI, there is a lot of emphasis on value. So we are doing the project fine. Yeah? We are doing the project very well. We are successful by the project management parameters. But are we adding value to a product, to a service, yeah, to whatever we are doing? So are we adding a value? So whatever we described as environment earlier now has become a system for value delivery. The environment around the project in terms of portfolio management, in terms of program management, in terms of operations management, all of that has to be geared towards the system for value delivery. Yeah? So value is something which is very important. Then the knowledge areas have in a way got replaced by these knowledge area have got replaced. Yeah? And they use a different term there. Yeah? They call it project management. I'm sorry, the knowledge area, they call it project performance domains. Yeah? The knowledge areas here now are called as project performance domains. Yeah? And the domains are stakeholder, which was covered earlier also as a part of knowledge area. Team, which was again covered as a part of resource management, yeah, in the earlier version. Development and approach and life cycle was covered as a part of project environment. Can you hear me?
A question, please.
Any issues?
A question from me?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, now, looking at the 6th edition and the 7th edition, when you look at the layout, there is first on 6th edition there is guide to project management, followed by standard. Then on the 7th, you start by standard and then go to the guide. Does the arrangement mean anything?
I'm extremely sorry. I couldn't follow your question at all. So could you please speak a little louder, maybe come close to your mic or something, because your question is, in between it was breaking. I could not hear it completely. So could you please
Okay,
repeat
can you
the
hear me
question?
now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, yes.
Yes, please. Now, I was talking about the PMBOK edition 6 and 7. I'm seeing a difference in terms of arrangement. In 6, with there is guide which comes first, and then standard. And then in 7, standard comes on top, and then guide comes below. Does the arrangement mean anything?
Actually, it does not mean much. They are anyway different. Guide and standards, they are different. So you can place them in any order you want. I don't know why they moved the standard before and why they moved the body of knowledge later, or earlier why was it reversed. I don't think it's a very significant change. I won't consider it as consider anything hidden behind that. I don't see anything very significant in that change. Yeah. Is that did you get my response? Did you hear my response?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. There is a question on chat also. Okay, Shalom says, I would like to ask, is PMBOK a book or a software? Okay, very interesting question, Shalom. I'm glad you asked this question. Yeah. PMBOK is not a software. It is a collection of whatever knowledge, whatever wisdom we have about project management. It's a book, perhaps. It's a book in soft copy, perhaps. But definitely, it is not a software. Yeah, it is not a software to create project plans, to execute project plans. No, that is not that. No, I'm very happy you asked this question. Yeah, Shalom. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So we are talking about PMBOK 6 and PMBOK 7, and what we were saying is that these knowledge areas, which were Shalom, you are welcome. Yeah? The knowledge areas which you see here correspond to what we call as domains now. So we have changed the word from knowledge area to domains, and some of the knowledge areas have got collapsed, yeah, or combined rather. Yeah. Say for example, communications was explicitly mentioned in 6th edition. Now communication is a part of stakeholders. Yeah. Earlier we had scope, schedule, cost, quality, all separate. Now it is all a part. It is kind of split between planning, project work, and delivery. Yeah. So there are some changes for sure, but they are not very significant. The changes are more. The changes are more in how you combine things, how you present things. Yeah. Then there is tailoring, which was also there in the earlier version. Yeah. But kind of underplayed. Now it is more prominent. Tailoring is more prominent. Yeah. Tailoring would mean modifying a standard for your own application, for your own customization. Yeah. So all these project management processes, how do you make them suitable to your project? That would be tailoring. Yeah. Then all the models, methods, and artifacts which were spread all over the knowledge areas, they have now got consolidated. Yeah. Say for example, a model called as Tuckman model. Yeah, Tuckman model was a part of resource management. Yeah. It showed how team works, how team dynamics work. Now the same Tuckman model has been removed from the domains, and it has got mentioned. It has a separate place called models. So all the models are in one place. Be it Abraham Maslow's triangle, be it the Tuckman ladder, yeah, be it the interest power grid. So all those models, all those tools, instead of being spread all over the place, now they're under one chapter, one section of the document. Yeah. So models, methods, and artifacts have got centralized instead of being distributed throughout. Yeah. And one thing for sure which has changed a lot, and that is a very fundamental and a basic change. Yeah. And that change is that now we have project management principles. Yeah. So we have got project management principles, and what we are saying is that these principles apply to any and every project. And these principles are valid for any and every project. And we are going to look at the principles a little later. Yeah. What are the 12 principles of project management? This is something which is brand new, which was not there before at all. Yeah. So we are going to look at it in a while from now, perhaps. Yeah. So that's how PMBOK 6 and PMBOK 7 compare. Maybe on second thoughts, I should not have spent so much time on this, because if you are not aware of PMBOK 6 at all, or any PMBOK at all, why would you bother about the difference between the two? Yeah. Anyway, now that we have spent time on it, that time is already gone. Yeah. I'm sure something useful would have come out of this. Yeah. Moving on. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. So what are these performance domains that we have in the project? Yeah. So the performance domains are, I think, 8 in number. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they are definitely 8 in number. I was right. Yeah. Yeah. So one performance domain is stakeholders. Yeah. One second, and there's just a moment. I'm trying to get the laser pointer on. Yeah, here it is. But the problem with the laser pointer is I have to turn it off and on every time I move to the next page, which is a bit of a pain. But anyway, it's okay. Yeah. So we have a domain called as stakeholders, a performance domain by name stakeholder. So whatever we do about stakeholder management or stakeholder engagement will fall under this domain. Yeah. Stakeholder engagement would require you to first of all identify who the stakeholders are. Yeah. Then you need to strategize against, you need to strategize. You need to have strategy about working with a particular set of stakeholders, or one stakeholder, or a group, or an organization. Yeah. So what are the actions that you will take so that stakeholders will be engaged? So that will all come under the stakeholder performance domain. Yeah. Even communication will also be part of the stakeholder performance domain. So that is domain number 1. Domain number 2 is no, it doesn't work. Yeah. The second domain is team domain. Yeah. So what all you need to do to make a team effective? Otherwise, team is a collection of people who have come together. Am I right? There is nothing more than that there. So how to take them from that level to a level where they are, they work as a team, they solve problems. Yeah. They work well with each other. There are not too many conflicts within the team. Yeah. So how do you support the team from going from just a collection of people to a higher performance team? Yeah. So it will require team building. It will require maybe some intervention. Yeah. It will require empowering the team. Yeah. Delegating to the team and all that. So that will be the domain called as team, performance domain called as team. Then we have a performance domain which is, I think, yes, third domain is development approach and life cycle. So corresponding to your project, yeah, what will be your development approach and what will be your project life cycle? Slightly heavy words, I would say, jargon. Yeah. So what we are talking about here is, generally every project, by and large, I can't think of a project which does not, which does not satisfy what I'm going to say. Yeah. So every project has got, every project will get split according to phases. Yeah. So phase called design, phase called implementation, construction, a phase called as testing, a phase called as handover. Yeah. So there will be multiple phases in the project. The project will go through these phases. It may stop at certain phase. It may get abandoned at a certain phase. Yeah. So there will be, there could be specific set of phases, yeah, which is called as a project life cycle. So there could be different project life cycles based on the project requirements. Yeah, based on the requirements of urgency, based on the requirements of complexity, based on the requirements of instability. Yeah. So corresponding to the environment, corresponding to the project context, you need to choose the right development approach and the right life cycle. Yeah. So we'll explain this a little later, of course, yeah, as to what more details we have here. Yeah. But we need to use the appropriate life cycle for the project. We need to use the appropriate approach for the project, and that is what we have here. Yeah. Say for example, how often you deliver. Once in the entire project, multiple times in the entire project. Yeah. For example, do you allow loop backs in the project, or you discourage that? You say that we always have to move forward. We cannot go back and loop around. Yeah. So all of that will come under development approach and life cycle. So this will have to work for every project that you do. You will have a you may choose a slightly different life cycle. You may choose a slightly different approach. Yeah. So that is what this domain is about: development approach and life cycle. Then the planning performance domain. Yeah. So you have to plan for a host of things. You have to plan for a host of things. For example, planning for scope, planning for schedule, planning for cost. Yeah. So you are ready with your plan before the actual activity starts. Yeah, before the actual activity takes place, your plan is ready. Yeah. So activities and functions associated with the initial, ongoing, and evolving organization and coordination necessary for delivering project deliverables and outcomes. Yeah. So you organize, you elaborate, and coordinate work throughout the project. Planning takes place upfront and throughout the project. The amount, timing, and all that varies with the development approach, environment, and stakeholders. This is basically about planning, and you do lots of planning in a project. Then we have a project work domain. Yeah. So this is where the project work gets done. Yeah. So just planning is not good enough. Yeah. We make a plan, but that plan has to be executed. You have to work on that plan. You have to ensure that the plan rolls. People do their task assigned. They come back, they integrate, and all that. So work has to happen. So this domain is about project work performance. Yeah. Establishing project processes, managing physical resources, and fostering a learning environment. Yeah. So unless you have all this, the team will not perform. The work will not happen. Yeah. So you have to establish processes and so that the work is done, work is enabled. Yeah. The team delivers, yeah, the expected value and outcomes. Yeah. So you execute the project. You run the project management plan. Simultaneously, you engage with the stakeholders. Simultaneously, you engage with the team. Simultaneously, you hire people. Simultaneously, you get resources, physical resources, procurement, and whatnot. So that is a part of the work domain, the project work domain, where actual work happens. Yeah. So that is domain number 5. Domain number 6 is delivery performance domain. Yeah. Are you delivering to the customer whatever you had committed to? Whatever you had said in the project management plan, is that happening? Are you delivering to the customer? Yeah. So this this ensures that the delivery happens. Yeah. Project delivery meets requirements of scope, of quality. Yeah. It is delivered at the right frequency. Yeah. And the customer gets the intended deliverables, intended outcomes. That is what you will look at in delivery. So fundamentally, you will look at that. You will ensure that the delivery happens and the delivery is good. It is acceptable to the customer. That is a part of delivery performance domain. Then we have 7th domain, the measurement performance domain. So in a project, you are constantly measuring the numbers, the metrics. Yeah, you are associating, comparing metrics, correlating metrics, coming to a conclusion based on that, taking actions based on that. So that would be the measurement performance domain. Yeah, where you create a plan for what you want to measure. Yeah, how you will measure it, how frequently will you measure it, who is supposed to report and whatnot, and then interpret those measurements, interpret those metrics. That would be the measurement performance domain. And finally, you have uncertainty performance domain, which has got to do with risk management. Yeah. So are you able to foresee things can go wrong? Yeah. Can you take an action now so that you can mitigate a future risk? Yeah, or abate a future risk. Yeah. So this is got to do with the risk and uncertainty. Yeah. Project exists with varying degrees of uncertainty. Yeah, and uncertainty can be a threat, it can be an opportunity. Yeah. And the project manager, there will be you may not know everything in the project, and you still will go ahead. You will take a risk and go ahead. Yeah. So this domain is about that. Yeah. Taking risks, being sure that you have a mitigation process, you have a backup process, and whatnot. Yeah. So that would be the uncertainty domain. Yeah. So between these 8 domains, we perhaps would have covered all that needs to be done in project management. Yeah. So I'll just go back. I'll quickly we'll quickly look at this picture once again. So there are 8 domains here: stakeholder, team, development approach and life cycle, planning, project work, delivery, measurement, uncertainty. That's all. Yeah. So at a broad level, now you should understand what all is behind these words. Yeah. What is behind stakeholder? What is behind team? What is behind development approach and life cycle? Yeah. So you should have a fair idea about what all goes into project management. That is what you see on the screen right now. This is what goes into project management. If you have any fundamental question here, of course, we haven't discussed the details at all. So I'm sure you would have many questions on this, and they'll get answered throughout the course. But right now, if you have any fundamental question in in understanding what is meant here, I don't know what is uncertainty. Why is it required here? Or I don't understand what is development approach and life cycle. Can you please explain that? So if you have any fundamental question, please do ask. I'm waiting for your questions. Excuse me. Any question would do, even if you consider the question to be very easy, very simple. Go ahead and ask, please. No? No question from anyone at all? Okay. So I assume that you have a fundamental understanding of what these 8 domains are about. Okay. Okay. Looks like there is no question right now. Okay, 1 second. Yeah. We are still with introduction. Yeah. So we go back to an easier view. Now PMBOK 7, the way it has been structured, it is a bit difficult to understand. Yeah. PMBOK 6 was much more easy to understand. And more than that, PMBOK 6 had a story, or it has a story, which makes it easy to follow. PMBOK 7 does not really have a story. It has got more description. So what we are going to do is we are going to alternate between PMBOK 6 and PMBOK 7. Yeah, both will give you the required understanding, required knowledge. You don't have to worry. Yeah, so we are in a way going to cover both. Yeah, sometimes 7, sometimes 6. Yeah, so now we are looking at PMBOK 6, and as I said, PMBOK 6 had a good story. And what I meant by a good story is that you could easily place the processes in the project context. Yeah. So here is a list of project management, not a list exactly, but a table. So here is a table of project management processes. Yeah. So to do project management, what you had to do was that you had to run the project management processes. So let us see one example of a project management process. Yeah. So one process here at the topmost row and the topmost column, left top, you have a process called as develop project charter. So develop project charter is a project management process. Yeah. It gives you guidance on how will you develop project charter. Yeah. Say for example, you will justify the project. You will justify a business case for the project. You will justify a benefit management plan for the project. Yeah. You will justify the gain that we get out of the project, and then we'll also say that the project is feasible. Yeah, the project is doable. Yeah, we will create a formal document or a formal authority saying that we are creating this project. We are going to launch this project. This is the broad budget for the project. Yeah. These are the broad requirements that we'll have in the project. So that would be develop project charter and the processes inside that. Yeah. Now this develop project charter process, this is a PM process, a project management process, is a part of initiating. You are initiating a project, and when you're initiating, yeah, I'll give you at some time. Just let me go with this flow. I don't want to break it, and then I'll come to you, my dear. Yeah, Afzad. I'll come to you, Afzad. I'll come back to you, Afzad. Just hold on. Yeah? In case I don't prod me, remind me again. Yeah? So we are looking at project management process here. The process is develop project charter. It's a part of initiating. Yeah. So you cannot initiate a project without the project charter. Yeah? You need to have an official, okay, an official, a letter saying that this project is on, a mail saying that this project is on, yeah, whatever it is. So you need an official approval for the project, and that is what develop project charter is about. It has to be done when you initiate the project. Initiate a part of the project, initiate the entire project. That is when you will require a documented project charter. This is also a part of integration management. It helps you to integrate. Integrate meaning, without this you cannot start the project at all. Yeah? So this has to be a part of integration as well. Let us take one more example, and then I'll go to a facade. Yeah. Let us say create work breakdown structure, where right now I'm highlighting. Can you see the laser pointer, by the way? Can somebody please confirm? Can you see the laser pointer?
Yes.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. Thank you,
Yes,
Tamara.
we can.
Okay. Thank you, Tony. Because it's not visible in on my screen on my version of what you are seeing. So that's why I got a bit doubtful. Anyway, so we were talking about creating work breakdown structure. This is another project management process. So this project management process is a part of scope management because it helps you to define the scope of the project, and it's also part of the planning, because when you plan, you need to plan for scope, you need to plan for WBS, you need to plan for schedule, you need to do all the planning. So the project management process called as create work breakdown structure is a planning process, and it's also a scope management process. So that is how PMBOK 6 arranged the wisdom or the learnings of project management. It arranged them in terms of processes, and the processes would happen as initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. And the processes will also happen as as scope management, schedule management, cost management, and all that. Yeah. So this makes a good story, as I was saying. It's easy to follow, easy to understand. So that's why we are still switching to PMBOK 6. We have not abandoned that yet. Yeah. So so that perhaps takes care of this slide. We are not anyway going to look at each line and each column and each row. That will be too much to do. Yeah. So we are not doing that. So let me come back to what Afazad had to ask. So Afazad, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to ask the difference between a project charter and project initiation document. Could they be the same?
Project initiate and what is the other one?
The PID, that's the project initiation document, and the project charter.
Project setup.
Could they, project charter.
Did you say setup? No? SETUP?
No, project charter and the PID. What's the difference between those two documents?
Project charter and so project charter is one thing. What is the second thing that you wanted me to compare?
The PID, project initiation document.
PID.
Yes.
Okay, so PID could be a specific term used in a specific organization. Project charter is a more generic term, which is used here. So we have not used the word PID here, project initiation document, but yeah, maybe it could be very similar. It could be the same as a project charter. So PID could be more of a local term used in a specific organization. Yeah, they sound similar to me. They sound the same to me. Afazad.
Yes, I got it.
Thank you. Okay, Shalom, don't feel sorry to ask. Yeah? Ask whatever you want to. So Shalom says, "Sir, sorry to ask. Don't do that, sir. Don't call me sir. Don't say sorry to ask." Yeah. Project management process is it done by the project manager, or project manager can assign other working member to do that? Yeah. So yeah, project manager can assign. What project manager may do some things, project manager may assign the rest. Yeah. So that's quite possible. Say for example, project manager will make the work breakdown structure and then ask the team to break it down further into small activities. So it will depend. The project manager will authorize somebody to communicate, for example, or the project manager can himself call up some customer. Yeah, so it will depend upon what the person's experience is and what the requirements are. So accordingly, you can assign the work to somebody else. So it is not necessary. Last word, Shalom. It is not necessary that the project management processes are done only by the project manager.
Yeah. Now, in terms of budgeting.
One second, Afazad. Just hold on, please.
Okay.
So Shalom, yeah,
Okay.
Shalom has said thank you. So Shalom's question is closed. Yeah. Now back to you, Afazad. Please go ahead.
Yes. In terms of the team that the project manager can assign, do these teams include different departments? Because when it comes to the project planning, the project is involved by many stakeholders. For example, the business team, the finance team, and also the sponsors. So could the project manager involve all these into this? Because especially on the financing, where it really requires budgeting.
Yeah. So your question, perhaps one part of your question was, can finance be a part of the project management team? Is that
Yes,
what
not only finance, but maybe different departments, because a project manager in this case works with different departments, and could they be part of the team, the project team that can now, especially when we're doing the project planning and initiation?
Okay, I got it. I think I got it. Yeah. So a project manager, a project will have multiple stakeholders. Yeah. Some stakeholders could be reporting to the project manager, could be part of the project. They could be doing nothing but the project. Some stakeholders may have an interest in the project once in a while. They may not be constantly working on the project like the project team. So maybe somebody from finance, maybe somebody from business. Yeah. So the project manager will have to work with all of them. They may or may not be a part of the project team, but they are definitely called as project stakeholders. And you have to identify the stakeholders early in the project and have an approach, have a strategy about how will you work with each of the stakeholders or each of the stakeholder groups or the organizations. Yeah. So they may not come into the team and thereby be directed by the project manager, but they may influence the team, they may influence the project, they may get influenced by the project. Yeah. So all of that is possible. So Shalom, you would, I'm not Shalom, I'm sorry. Afzad, you would call them project stakeholders, which is what the next topic of discussion would be. I hope I have answered you partially now, because some things are not, we haven't discussed them yet. Afzad.
Thank you. I got it.
You're welcome. Yeah. So we are at about 9:20 my time. Yeah. We'll try to come to a logical end and then take a break for about 10 minutes. So we have approximately another 1 hour and 10 minutes. I'm sorry, 1 hour and 10 minutes on the call. Yeah, I'm going to skip this one too. Yeah. So maybe it is time to take a break. Yeah, this is a logical end of something that we have discussed. We are now getting into something new, something that we haven't discussed. Yeah. So we will take a break now. So hi there, I'm back on the call. Yeah. I think we have 10 minutes would have by now got over, am I right? You'll be past 10 minutes. I didn't keep track of this starting time. Yeah. So are the 10 minutes up now? Or we still have some spare time? Yeah, Tony says yes, and I go with Tony. Thank you, Tony.
The 10 minutes is.
Sorry, Tamara?
I'm saying yes, it's up.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Tamara. Okay. Yeah, Tony says okay. Yeah, thank you, Tony. Okay, so we are now kind of discussing something which perhaps should have been discussed right at the start of the course. But anyway, better late than never. Yeah. So we are talking now about something which is very fundamental. Yeah, very fundamental. Very first question that you would ask, that would be, what is a project? What is it that you would call as a project? And there are so many definitions around. Yeah? Like somebody said, project is a problem scheduled for a solution. And somebody says a project is a collection of tasks, run by people and coordinated, and you have an outcome. Yeah. Oh, Shalom says you can't hear the voice. I guess others can. Yeah. Okay. Now it's yeah, fine. Okay. Shalom. Yeah. So coming back to where we were. Yeah. So we were talking about project and project definition. So somebody says, yeah, you have to coordinate work and get results and blah 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 blah. You have to do it within the given time. So there are definitions and definitions and definitions. Yeah. So what PMBok says, yeah, is that project is a temporary endeavor. Yeah. Project is a temporary endeavor which is undertaken to produce a unique product or service. Yeah. So the very powerful, should I say, very words which have got lots of meaning behind them. Yeah. Each word is kind of very valuable here. So we are talking about a project here. It's a temporary endeavor. Yeah. So a project will never be going on forever. Yeah. There will be a project end date known to you when the project starts, as the project progresses. Yeah. So you are never thinking that it will go on forever. You are never planning that it will go on forever. So it's a temporary endeavor. Temporary meaning it has to get over. It has to finish sometime. It can mean 10 years. It can mean 10 months. It can mean 10 days. But still, it is temporary. Yeah. Temporary endeavor. I do not know much French. Yeah. But I think endeavor is a French word, and endeavor means an attempt. So some francophile on the, is it called francophile or francophone? Yeah. Somebody who knows French, I'm sure there are some on this call. They can tell me whether endeavor means an attempt. I think endeavor means an attempt, a trial. You try something. Yeah. That is endeavor. So project is a temporary endeavor. So we try to do something. We are not sure that it will happen the way we want it. We were not sure it will not happen the way we want it. So it's a sincere attempt that we are making. Yeah. Undertaken to produce a unique product or a service. So why do we do all this? Why do we do it in a given time and whatnot? Because we want to produce a unique, again a powerful word, unique. Unique would mean something which you have not seen before. Yeah, like the Wright brothers flying a plane for the first time would be very unique. And Apple iPhone, the very initial version, would be very unique. Nobody would have seen such a phone. Yeah. With a touch screen and the screen doubling up as a keyboard when required. So that was very unique. Nobody thought about that. So in a project, you will be producing a unique outcome, a unique product, or a unique service. Yeah. Through a project, by employing a project or by employing project management, you will not be producing repetitive products. Yeah. Let us say that it's a car assembly line. So you are producing repetitive products there. The same model of car will roll out of the assembly. It will have the same color. the same shape, the same size, everything will be the same. Yeah. So that would be non-unique, opposite of unique, non-unique, product or a service. So you could be creating a product like Apple iPhone, or you could be creating a service. Like for example, what I'm doing now is giving a service. I'm providing training services. So the training service could be an outcome of a project. Yeah. So I decide what are the topics to take. I decide what are the which books to refer to, what to say, what not to say, blah blah blah. So this all I'm working towards creating a service. There's no product being created here. So that's the definition of project. Yeah. Temporary endeavor undertaken to produce a unique product or a service. So when we say temporary, it means there's a definitive beginning and definitive end to a project. So project and project's activities and project's phases and what have you in the project, there will be a beginning and there will be an end. Yeah, you can't stretch it beyond end, and you should know when we started. That date should be on record. Yeah. And then it has to be unique, something new. I'm setting up a factory somewhere. There's a new factory coming up. I'm upgrading my current factory. Yeah. That could be another project. Yeah. New undertaking on unfamiliar grounds. Yeah. Maybe I'm setting up the factory. It's a greenfield project. Yeah. It's a greenfield project. We have not seen that before. We have not seen we don't know how it will work out. Yeah. So that is the definition of a project: a temporary endeavor undertaken to produce a unique service or a result. Yeah. I'm sorry, my phone rang. I did not keep it in silent mode. I'm sorry. But with your permission, I think this call could be something which is urgent. If just a moment, I'll just inform the person that I'm busy. I hope there is no emergency. As I said, I'm alone here, and I'm little worried also. Just a moment. I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry. I had to take this call. Okay. Sorry. Was there a question? Somebody said something, or I'm just hearing voices, hallucinating. Yeah. Probably I nobody. I don't think anybody asked a question or anything. Yeah. So we now know the definition of a project. Yeah. Okay. So here are some 4 pictures without any description. Yeah. Without any. I don't know what these pictures show. Yeah. They are there before you. So let us take a couple of them, and so this is 1, and let us say this is 2, and let us say this is 3. Yeah. 3. Forget about the 4th one. We'll not look at the 4th one. So what's your comment on 1, 2, and 3? Based on what we read just now, what we heard just now about project definition. So how does project definition apply here in 1, 2, and 3? Would anybody like to volunteer to speak? Yeah, we discussed about the definition of project just now. So how would you say, what would you say about one? It is a picture. You can imagine whatever you see in the picture, whatever you know about the picture. In two, what do you how would the project definition apply? The same in three.
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
I would like to talk about picture number one,
Yes, please.
because this is from from structural, let us say plates, beams, to a final product.
Okay. So
Yeah, I think
you are saying that one is a final product.
correct. So we start from zero. So we procure the plates, we prepare the according to the drawings, we prepare the structure, we
Okay.
build, and
Okay.
at the end we deliver the final product to the success.
Okay. So you are saying that is how it fits into a project
Correct.
framework.
From the start date to the finish date.
Yes.
So
So
we'll
when you
start
finish
and
creating, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
so a project there is a start date and finish date.
Okay.
Normally in my work experience, when you get a project, there is a deadline, right? You have a
Yes.
milestone you have a start date determined by your client, your company, and then they will define an end date of the project. So
Yes.
you have to follow all those dates to meet the client's requirements.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is my inputs on point number one.
Thank you. Thank you, Afonso.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Afonso, for participating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
yeah. This looks like a project here. You have you would have started it. You finished it. You handed over. You created something in the middle of the sea, which is perhaps unique, which will be unique. You won't the sea bed and depth of the sea and whatnot will vary from place to place. Yeah. Yeah. Great. So thank you, Afonso. Would anybody else like to comment on same, maybe one, maybe two, maybe three? Anyone? And then we'll move on to the next slide. So this could perhaps be the last opportunity of today evening. Any comment on 1, 2, 3? No response. Okay, it's fine. Yeah. So to me, so let me give you my response, which may not be the correct response, because there can be many correct responses here. This is not an objective kind of a question. Okay. So maybe 2 is also a project. It seems to be showing somebody's wedding. Yeah. And of course, getting that. Arranging for the wedding, calling guests, and arranging for the food and drink and whatnot. So all of that would definitely be like a project. There will be a start. There will be an end. It cannot, there's a fixed end date there. It cannot be changed mostly. And it produces a unique outcome. Yeah, the couple gets married. Yeah, that's a unique thing that happens. Yeah. So again it seems to be like a project. That is number 2. Number 3. Would anybody like to comment on number 3, please? The McDonald's classical arches. No one? I'm sure you know what is McDonald's rather, to be right and precise. Okay, no takers for McDonald's here. But to me, I see the opposite of a project here, because you are selling the same burger every day, yeah, and it tastes the same. The service is same, yeah. The way they prepare it is the same. So it's not a project really. There's nothing unique coming out here, unless you are putting up a new outlet somewhere, unless you are introducing a new dish somewhere. So maybe you are coming into India. And of course, here the burger cannot be, there will be some sensitivity as far as what the burger contains. Yeah. So you can't have the usual hamburger. Yeah. So there will be new product that you may have to create. So that is, yeah. So I hope with these three examples, the definition of a project is now kind of solidified. And assuming that, let's go ahead. Yeah. So we discussed about this, has a definite beginning, definite end. It is driven by objectives. Yeah. A project would be driven by objective, and the objectives need not always be, we will do it in so much of time, we will do it in so much of effort. There will be some objectives beyond just plain dates and budget objectives. For example, the objective could be landing a man on the moon. That's a very, 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 very tall objective. But that is what John F. Kennedy said. Am I right? We'll put a man on the moon and get him back safely before the end of this decade. And then this will be a unique thing that nobody has done before. Yeah. So it is driven by objectives. The objective could be landing on the moon. Yeah. Unique, something that has not been done before. Yeah. So uniqueness does not mean that it has to be something which is brand new. You cannot be inventing Apple iPhones every day, or you cannot be climbing Mount Everest every day. Yeah, that will happen very rarely. So uniqueness can be at a very smaller level also. So maybe this laptop which I have now, I'm sure somebody is working on the next version. Yeah, making it maybe faster, making it maybe smaller. Yeah, making it perhaps making it not generate so much of heat, for example. So even that would be a unique thing that you are creating. You're not creating the computer for the first time, but that's okay. You're creating a new model for an existing computer with maybe a smaller size. Yeah. So uniqueness can have different degrees. Yeah, you could be creating something absolutely new, or you could be just adding a tweak here and a tweak there on something that is not absolutely new. Yeah. So examples: developing a new product or a service, constructing a building or an infrastructure, implementing a new business process, yeah, effecting a change in the structure, staffing, or style of an organization. So the last two will be services that you are providing through projects. Yeah. The first two would be products that you are producing out of the project. Yeah. So you could be producing product, you could be producing service. Yeah. So here we have a little bit of a interesting should I say issue? I don't know what is the correct word. Yeah. So the question is, when does project begin, and therefore when does project management begin? So there are two schools of thought. Yeah. So one school of thought says that a project begins only after the project charter is out. The project there's a known date for the project now. Yeah, the project charter is out. There's a sponsor. There's a project manager, and then the project management and project starts. That is one school of thought, which is largely what PMBOK, or which is what largely PMI supports. Project Management Institute, or PMI, supports this view that the project starts only after the project charter is there, yeah, and only after a project manager is appointed, then the project starts. Before that, we don't know what happens. It's just like singularity, you know. Before a Big Bang, we don't know what happened because it doesn't matter. Yeah? So similarly, before the project came into being, we don't know anything about what happened. Yeah? Another school of thought, however, which is mainly from the British what do you call the Prince 2 standard. Yeah? That school of thought says that, you know, even the Prince 2, yeah, even the feasibility of the project, yeah, even the business viability of the project, all of that should be looked into, and that is when the project starts. Yeah, so they pull the project start date a little earlier in the Prince 2 version, and a little later in the PMI version. Yeah. So in case you are wondering what is PMI, that is Project Management Institute, which creates this project management PMBOK and all that. Prince 2 expands to projects in a controlled environment. So PR stands for projects, yeah, IN is in, and CE is controlled projects in a controlled environment, yeah, Prince. And then it is suffixed by 2 because there's a second version. Yeah? So this is a UK standard, United Kingdom, and they are the that is where this standard was created, Prince 2. So Prince 2 kind of, you know, pushes the project start date to an earlier time. Yeah? So here we have got many ideas, opportunities, needs. People are bubbling with them. Yeah, they want to start work on them. They want to start the projects. They want the project to be sanctioned or approved for this. Yeah. So all of this will go through a selection, go through a filter. Yeah? Business planning selection. So is this something which is for a business, from a business point of view, does it make sense? Yeah. From a business point of view, is this project going to lead us somewhere? Is it going to give us a new product with which we'll gather another 20% of the market share? Or will it give us some new technology because of which we can create a new product? So that would be business planning selection. An idea or an opportunity or a need will first of all go through business planning selection. Only if the business finds it to be good, then it will pass that gate. And the screening. Then we have another stage, another obstacle, and that obstacle is the project feasible? So it is fine business-wise, it is great. Yeah, the project is required. We will start working on it. But what if the project is not feasible, and you realize that only after you are done with some part of the project, maybe 1/4 of the project is over, and then you realize, oh my God, this is not feasible at all. Yeah. So we need another selection filter. We need the feasibility part here. That is the second obstacle. Yeah. And only once you pass this, then your project becomes a project. Yeah. Then your planning and execution of the project starts here. So project management can start from screening itself, or it can start from this point. That's a moot question. Either of them is right, either of them is wrong. Yeah. So we now know how a project gets selected, yeah? Or why we require selection in a project. Because there are so many projects vying for the same funds. Yeah, you need a selection there. Yeah? And some of the selection methods are here. Yeah? So you can visualize. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm still on the call. I'm trying to drink something. Yeah. Okay. Otherwise, my throat gets a little, irritable. Okay. Yeah. So we are looking at project
Maybe I can ask
selection.
a question.
Yes, Tamara.
No, this is Faith.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Faith. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, Faith. No, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead, please.
So now you've spoken about feasibility. So do we do feasibility after the chapter, the charter,
Do we do
before the
feasibility after
charter
the
is out?
before?
After the charter is out or before?
No, after the charter is out, your feasibility is already tested, already taken care of, and then only you are issuing a project charter. So the
Okay, so in this
sequence is
case, in an
feasibility
exam,
followed by charter.
when would you say that project? Sorry.
When would you say what?
So in an exam, since PMI supports the second that project management starts after the project charter is out, and feasibility study should be part of the project management.
No, the exam will not assume this. So PMI believes that the feasibility should happen before the project charter is issued, before the project starts. So feasibility is not a part of the project as far as PMI is concerned.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. We have Shalom has a question. Prince 2 certification and PMP certifications are they related? Anyhow rather? Yeah. They are separate, my dear friend. I mean, they have their own references. They have their own exams. The exams are not exactly the same. Yeah. So they are not related. I don't know what you mean by related. But yeah, I don't think they cooperate and they work together anytime. And they are two very, very separate entities. I don't know. You'll have to elaborate on related. What do you mean by that? But they are not. Yeah, they are not so much related from what I know. Okay. So we will not really talk about Prince 2. There are one or two reasons. One is that this is not a part of this course. Second of it, I think is I do not know Prince 2 so much. I might have read about it sometime, but nothing more than that. Whereas I know much more about pmbok. I know much more about what PMI does. Not that I know a lot, but much more than about Prince. Okay, so that's why I may not talk about Prince so much. Yeah, so that was in response to Shalom. Looks like there is no other question right now, so we can come back to the presentation. So this particular slide, this talks about what are some objective criteria with which you will select the project. So you'll always have this scenario in any organization that there will be projects to be carried out, projects to be done, and there is a shortage of funds. There will always be more projects in the pipeline than the funds available to you for the project. So you will have to choose the right project and reject the project which you can't do now, which you don't want to do now for whatever reason, maybe for lack of funds. So how do we compare projects and then choose one of them or two of them or three of them as the case may be? That is what we are trying to answer here. So there are some very simple math, simple calculations which we can do, and we can get these numbers and then make a decision. Say for example, payback period. So I go to a new site. Yeah, I get a land somewhere and I have to set up a new factory there. So this factory will not give me outputs just tomorrow. Yeah, it will not give me outputs just day after tomorrow. It may take a couple of years before the factory really gets me something which I can sell in the market. So there will be a payback period. There will be a payback period that, you know, I invest the money in the project today, and I get the benefit 3 years down the line. So what is the payback period for the project? The lesser the payback period, better off you are. Yeah? That is one parameter that you can look at. That is payback period. I'm sorry. Yeah. Then you may look at discounted cash flow. Yeah? So one is it is a cash flow. So cash can go out or cash can come in. Yeah? So there can be an outgo, there can be an income. Yeah? And second of all, it is discounted. So it is discounted by the time value of money. So you are also looking at when is the cash moving. Yeah? So if the cash were to, if I were to get say $100 from somebody, and I'm supposed to get it today, versus I'm going to get it 5 years down the line, then of course the the 5-year factor has to be brought into account. Yeah? I have to look at the time value of money and discount the cash flows by the time value of money. So you can look at discounted cash flows, whichever cash flow is more positive, or for whichever project the cash flow is more positive, the discounted cash flow is more positive. That is better off. Yeah, we are better off with that project where the cash flow is more. Yeah, after discounting it. Yeah. Economic value add is slightly what you call not as concrete as payback period or discounted cash flow. It is more of, you know, what is the economic value we are adding. So okay, we are setting up this factory here, and then we are also creating jobs. Yeah, that is an economic value that you are adding. And we are also setting up a small school here, so that the children of the people who work on the factory premise, you know, will learn something. They will not be, their time will be utilized well. So that's another value add, another economic value add. You know, you are creating a school and you are teaching children something. Yeah? So that is, you know, maybe after 10 years down the line we will be exporting what we create here. So that is another value add, another economic value add. So you would be looking at the economic value add, giving it a value by with some theory or something. Yeah, and then compare projects on that. You can also use a scoring model. Yeah, scoring model would be, you know, you can decide on some criteria by which projects will be selected, and select them based on those criteria. You score projects on those criteria. Net present value. Yeah, whichever project has got a better net present value based on the cash flows in and out, yeah, and discounting them by time, whichever has a better NPV, you will perhaps go for that project. Internal rate of return, you know, what is the rate of return we get in 11%, 10%, 8%, 20%. So based on wherever the returns are higher, we will take up that project. Yeah. Opportunity cost. Yeah. So by not selecting a project, how much are we losing? It would be a hypothetical number, because you have made a decision. Yeah. So you will look at the opportunity that we are losing because we are letting go some projects. Constraint optimization, you will look at the constraint in the project. Yeah. And then look at, you know, how do we best exploit this constraint? How do we best use it? So I do not know much about constraint optimization really. And then there can be non-financial factors. Yeah, maybe your boss, it is your boss's favorite project. Yeah, so you have to take it up. So there can be non-financial factors also, like this in a lighter vein. Yeah. So this is how you select the project. Yeah. Why are we discussing this right now? Because we are looking at one second. Yeah. We are looking at how do we select projects. Yeah. We are looking at how do we select projects. Now, as a part of value add, projects can add value better if they are a part of a larger entity. And if this sounds a little abstract, a project will be a part of, one second, let me change it to the infrared, sorry, let me change it to this laser beam, so-called laser. It's not really laser. Yeah. So, so project will be a part of a larger program, and thereby it can add better value. Project and program both can be a part of a larger portfolio, and thereby can add value. Projects and programs could serve operations, and thereby add value. Yeah. So this is more about not the hierarchy really. Yeah, Shalom. Yeah, about constraint optimization, we'll perhaps talk about it later. Yeah? Maybe in the next call. Okay. I too do not have complete, as I said, I do not have a complete grasp of what is constraint optimization. So that's why I'm not taking it up now. Shalom. I hope you can wait. I hope you can wait. Yeah, thank you, Shalom. Yeah. So what are we discussing? We are discussing about project adding value by becoming a part of a program, or by becoming becoming a part of a portfolio and helping out operations. Yeah. So that is what we take up many projects in an organization. Yeah. Those projects can be can be running on their own. That is scenario number one. Scenario number two is that we have a more mature organization, and projects are not just being done haphazardly. They are part of a larger program, and they are part of a larger portfolio. So of course, scenario B is preferred. Scenario B, where we have program management, where we have portfolio management, is preferred. So how does program and project, how do they work together? Let me see if there's a slide on that. No, it is not there so much. But anyway, we'll still manage it. Yeah. Yeah. So what's a program? Program is a collection of projects. Yeah. And those projects have something, they are linked to each other, they are tied to each other, and unless all the projects are over, we may not be able to create substantial value. We may not be able to create substantial benefit. Yeah. So if each of those projects succeeds in its own way, it does not help. They have to succeed together. They have to interface with each other, and then produce a bigger value, produce a bigger produce a bigger benefit. Then only the project, the projects will make a sense. So that would be a program. A program will ensure that the projects are coordinated. Yeah? The projects, when you combine the outputs of those projects, you create a value. You create something useful for somebody, for the society, for the community, for your own organization or anybody. That would be program management. Say, for example, an example of program management could be, say somebody is setting up a new mass rapid transit system, yeah, MRTS, in the city, and it would have multiple projects. So maybe a project for raising the for excavating through the underground assuming that the MRTS will go on, no, will run below the surface. Yeah, will run, no, will run underground. That could be one, you know, so that tunnel could be one project. Yeah. Then the elevated rail would be another project. Yeah. Stations would be a third project. Any other thing to do with the station, for example, ticketing would be the fourth project. So all of these projects will be taken separately, and they would be, you know, they would be running separately. But that by itself will not add value. So unless all of these happen and come together, you cannot provide a service to the common commuter. The common commuter will get a service only when all these things work. Yeah. So that has to be coordinated. How these projects will work with each other, the coordination, the timing, the resources, sharing resources, all of that will have to happen. And then finally, somebody has to ensure that you convert that to a value when the project is over. Yeah. That would be program management. Whatever I described just now would be program management. Yeah. A project will be adding a value through a program. A project can also add a value through a portfolio. And how? Yeah. I guess you know, some of you would be investing in the market, in stocks and whatnot. Yeah, I don't do much of it. Yeah, but some of you could be. So how does one manage? Maybe not just stock, but generally in terms of personal finance management. How do we do that? Yeah. So we look at fixed deposits, and we say that okay, fixed deposits are good, they are reliable, but the rate of return is less. Yeah. Then we say okay, let us get a little adventurous. Yeah. Instead of fixed deposit, let us put some money in mutual funds. Yeah. And then you say okay, mutual funds are good. Let us put some money in in equities, in stocks, in then maybe later on in futures. Yeah, who knows? Yeah. So what you are doing here is you are picking up a specific you are picking up a specific equity, specific FD or whatever, considering the risks and the returns. And then when you see all of them together, the risk and the returns are more or less, they are okay. They are okay for your risk threshold. Yeah? All the investments you combine together, they seem to be meeting your financial goal. The same thing happens exactly almost in portfolio management in a project environment. Yeah? There also you choose projects, you look at the project risk, you look at the project returns, and you create a collection of projects by which you balance the return and the risk in the right way within your tolerance, within your threshold, and then you run the portfolio. Yeah. So portfolio basically takes up a strategic objective of the organization, creates projects and programs around those strategic objectives, and the projects and the program help the portfolio to meet the strategic objective. So the key word here would be strategic objective. The key word in program management would be value add. Yeah. So that is how a project can help the organization in general. Yeah. Add value in general. Yeah. Project can also be used to take care of operations. For example, I want to double the capacity of my plant. I'm running a plant. I want to double the capacity. I'll take it up as a project. That project will draw some experts from here and there and get increase the capacity and get it done. Yeah. So projects can add a value by being a part of a program, portfolio, operations, and what have you. Yeah. So that's why we are discussing this topic here. That is because of value add that we are looking at. I hope you are still with me. We are almost in 4 hours into the call. Another 20 minutes to go. Maybe it is a little late to ask, but still, as a part of my what you call my duty. Any question here?
Hello.
Hello, Afonso.
I would like to know what is the exact definition of a portfolio.
The exact definition of portfolio.
Yes.
Okay. So to see the exact definition, we'll have to open PMBOK and we'll do that. Because I don't remember the definition verbatim. I know the meaning, the story behind that. Yeah, here it is. A portfolio refers to a collection of projects or programs and other work that are grouped together to facilitate effective management of that work to meet strategic business objectives. Strategic business objective underlined. That would be the definition of portfolio.
Okay, thank you. Understood.
You got it, Afonso?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Any other question? Okay. Okay, looks like there is no question right now. I mean, yeah, we are almost like 4 hours into this call. I can appreciate if there are no questions. But still, yeah, if you have something, do ask. Okay. So we have defined program, defined. So the official definition of portfolio is we have read that already. I have read that already. A program, the official definition is program is defined as a group of related projects managed in a coordinated way to obtain the benefits and control not available from managing them individually. So situation A is you manage them individually. Situation B is you manage them in a coordinated way, yeah, and a control. So that and whatever you get some benefit out of that. Yeah. So that is program management. Why do we take up projects? Some reasons could be market demand. A car company authorizing a project to build more fuel efficient cars in response to gasoline shortage. Yeah. We already see electric scooters and electric cars nowadays, electric vehicles. Strategic approach. Yeah, Fazad, I'm coming back to. I'm coming to you in a little while from now. Yeah, just wait, please. Strategic opportunity or business need is one thing that can be driving a project. A training company like PreparationInfo authorizing a project to create a new course to increase its revenue. That would be a strategic opportunity of project. Customer request. Yeah. Maybe electric utility authorizing a project to build a new substation. Yeah, because there's more demand. Technological advancement. Yeah. New technology is available. You have to use it. Otherwise, you are going to go obsolete. Legal requirement. So maybe there are government mandates, government restrictions, and whatnot. Yeah. So there could be, there could be there could be legal requirements to do something. Yeah. For example, changing the pollution. What do you call? A new legal requirement could be a new tax rule, a new cess rule, or whatever. So there can be such changes which will require a project, yeah, which will require project management. So that's why we do projects. That's why we take up projects. Whatever we see on whatever we are seeing on the board now. Yeah. There's a question from Afazad and Shalom. Let me take those questions. Afazad says, for the projects in a program, do they have to be related in a way, since they may have same resources? You're absolutely right, Afazad. As you would have seen in the last slide, if you noticed, the final line says the projects or programs in a portfolio may not necessarily be interdependent, yeah, or directly related. Whereas in the definition of program, you see a project, a program may include elements of related work outside the scope. One second. Yeah. So and this, yeah, it is not said here explicitly, but I know for sure, Afzad, coming back to your question, that yeah, there can be shared resources, there can be shared shared equipment or whatever between different projects. Yeah, and those projects will be linked to each other somehow, and that is how a program will be created. So you're right. Yeah. So tech related projects vis-a-vis agricultural projects, they may not form a part of a program. They may form a part of a portfolio. But if it is a program, those projects will have some linkages. Yeah, those projects will have some linkages. So Fazad, I hope I have clarified. Shalom says, sir, Shalom says, sir, in a program, please don't call me sir, Shalom. Thank you. I feel a little awkward, not yet knighted. Maybe once if they knight me, if they make me a knight, you can call me sir. Okay, so in a program definition, it is written, a program may include elements or related work outside the scope of the discrete projects. What are these discrete projects? So discrete projects will be, the projects that you are trying to coordinate. Yeah. So those projects may include elements or related work outside the scope of the discrete project. So for example, so there is a common laboratory, a common equipment, yeah, which everyone which different projects may use. Yeah? So there are say, let us say there are 5 projects running simultaneously under a program. Yeah, those 5 projects are A, B, C, D, E. Yeah, and they share a common equipment. So this sharing of the common equipment between A, B, C, D, E will be a part of the program. The program will have authority, will have access to this equipment, to this machinery, and that will be coordinated by the program management function. Yeah. So I hope the discrete projects would mean those projects under the program management, which share a common equipment or which share a common resource. That is what is meant by discrete projects here. Shalom, I hope you're clear. Yeah. Okay. So we have a couple of minutes left now. So let us see what is it that we can do in the next 2 minutes. So what we'll do is this is the logically last slide that we can look at. Yeah. So we discussed a lot about projects. Yeah. We left out project manager. Yeah. We have left out the project manager. So the project manager is responsible for managing the project. No surprise here. Yeah. That's what that has been, without which the project manager has no reason to exist rather. Yeah. Identified and assigned early in the project. Yeah. So the earlier the project manager joins the project, better it is. Yeah. Later he or she joins, worse it is, because by then something would have gone wrong. Yeah. Must have authority and accountability, depending on the type of the organization. So if it's a hierarchical organization, there will be less authority, less accountability. If it's a projectized organization, then there will be more accountability and more authority at the same time. Yeah. So depending on the type of the organization, depending on the org structure, yeah, the project manager will have a different authority and different accountability. What should a project manager have? A project manager should have knowledge. Yeah. Should know, say for example, risk management. Should know risk response planning. Yeah. But knowing is not sufficient. Yeah. Performance. The project manager should be able to convert the knowledge into action. Yeah. It should be knowledge in action. Otherwise, it has no meaning. Like I can theoretically say that I know how to swim, but when I'm pushed into water, can I swim or not? That's really important. Yeah. Me knowing some couple of strokes and techniques does not mean that I know swimming unless I'm pushed into water. Yeah. And the third thing here would be personal efficiency or personal outlook or personal attitude. So what kind of attitude does a project manager have? Will he or she able to take complexity into account? Yeah, because projects are going to be more complex day by day. Yeah. Or does he or she have any what you call any hang-ups about people? Is judgmental about people. Yeah. So if you are judgmental about people, perhaps you cannot make a good project manager. Yeah. So there are some personal efficiencies required, personal attitudes required, which make a better project manager. So these are the three traits required: knowledge, what I know, perform what I do out of that knowledge, and what is my attitude towards the rest of the people around me, rest of my team, rest of the world, or whatever. So these three together will make a good project manager. Yeah. So that's all that we have now for today. Yeah. Thank you very much for your audience. We are going to close now. We are at 10:30 my time. Yeah. So today we discussed. We went around. Yeah, Tony, thank you very much. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for your appreciation. Yeah, thank you, Murari. Yeah, so I was just summarizing. So I think for Tony it will be late also. Perhaps it will be like 10:30 plus 5. Oh my God, it will be early in the morning for Tony. Okay. Yeah. So we of course introduced ourselves to the rest of us. Yeah. We did that. Then we looked at what is what is new, what is the comparison between PMBOK 6 and PMBOK 7. Yeah. We looked at the 8 domains, yeah, as for PMBOK 7. Then we looked at how a project is defined. Yeah. We looked at portfolio management. We looked at program management. We looked at the process map. Yeah. The process metrics is what we looked at some time back. So we have covered quite a few things. Maybe they are a little discrete. They need to be brought together. Yeah. I think Shalom, to get the video, it takes about 2 days time. Yeah, it is a big video, so it takes time to convert it. Yeah. So that's where we are today. We are going to continue on this, of course. Yeah. And next time when we meet, we'll discuss about the 12 principles, and then we'll discuss also about the the project charter. We'll start with that. Yeah, we'll start with all the processes, starting with the project charter. So that's all for now. Thank you very much. Thank you for your appreciation, everybody. Murari.
Okay, Toro, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. And good night.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
See everyone.
Evening.
See you next Saturday.
To see you. Yep. Sure.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, Etienne.
Okay, bye. Cheers.
Bye, Yashobit.